others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
What's up, everybody? I'm back with year 2 of my podcast, The Season with Peter Schrager. In each episode of this season, I'm going to take you inside and behind the scenes on the conversations that happen at the highest levels of NFL franchises. We'll bring in top GMs and coaches and give you the story behind the story that you're probably not getting anywhere else. Each week, I'll bring you conversations on the inside and give you the chance to get to know your favorite personalities in a different way. Listen to The Season with Peter Schrager on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's the Asheville Turkey Trot 5K and Gobble Wobble, Thursday, November 23rd in downtown Asheville. The 23rd running of this great event starts at 9:15 Thanksgiving morning, with the Gobble Wobble 1 mile fun run starting at 8:30. Part of the proceeds benefit Manna Food Bank. Last year, over 2,000 runners helped create 24,000 meals for Manna during the holiday season. So before you hit the buffet, come out and hit the streets. For more information and to get signed up, go to AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeart Media, Asheville.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. That's credit. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400, and the Sportsocracy here with you live in the Ingalls studio. We're heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat for a Threadbare Thursday. We've got our Thursday night football preview coming up. Jones Angel, voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels, will join us at the top of the second hour of the program. I almost said 4 o'clock. Still have a problem with that whole time change thing.
I don't know why. We've been doing this now for an extended period of time.
Yeah,
you do it so often, you got me to do it the other day.
It's still also new to me. It just seems like yesterday. But alas, we got to get into the Jim Harbaugh thing again because the Big Ten coaches had a little phone session last night, and a bunch of them not too happy about that situation. So,
well, at least it was a better phone session than the last time Hugh Freeze had one.
Oh,
make them laugh. Make them laugh.
Yeah, so there's that. And, of course, all of the frivolity of a Threadbare Thursday, all your topics that you want talked about, get those into the chat, and we will get to those throughout the program today as we get ready for the start of Week 9 in the NFL. Thursday night football.
Time just keeps on flying.
Tennessee Titans, Pittsburgh Steelers tonight. Will Levis, can he continue his hot start to his career? Had a hell of a debut throwing 4 touchdown passes last week in the win against the Atlanta Falcons. And now, what's he going to look like going up against that Pittsburgh Steelers pass rush is what I'm really curious about.
Well, that's the ironic thing to me is that I don't think Will Levis has to be as good as he was last week to beat Pittsburgh. I don't know that I've ever seen a team who record-wise was one thing, but then you watch them and they look completely different. I mean, I think Tennessee is better than Pittsburgh with even mediocre quarterback play.
Okay.
What does Pittsburgh do well? I mean, be really honest with yourself. What do they do well?
I mean, I feel like they rush the passer well, right? They've got all the tools to do that.
And the back half is awful.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Awful.
Mm-hmm.
You get Cam Hayward back. That will help. I'm not going to tell you it doesn't. Offensively, you do not move the ball easily.
No.
I'll tell you a fun stat about Kenny Pickett that I learned as we were revving up for Thursday night football.
Mm-hmm.
He had 327 yards in his debut game. Twice in the next 4 games, he went 267, 274, I think. Never broken 250 yards passing in a game again. Everybody's like, well, Kenny Pickett, what does it matter? Who cares? Him, Mitch Trubisky, and Mason Rudolph are all three the exact same guy.
Mm-hmm. I really didn't feel like they were this bad, though, with Mason Rudolph. I didn't feel like they were this bad when it was just Kenny Pickett.
Well, there's just no
just
threat.
Mitch Trubisky.
There's just no threat to Kenny Pickett whatsoever.
Well, you have nothing outside of that, right? Like when Mitch Trubisky was the starting quarterback, you were afraid of Najee Harris.
Were you?
I mean, you were for the first part of, what was that, 2 years ago? The first part of that season, he was great. And then the yards went down, and that's when the whole Trent Richardson comparison cropped up.
Which is
him.
very apt.
It is. The longer and longer this goes, the more apt that comparison becomes. I don't know. The offense is just so maddening, and that's why Matt Canada has been a number one on the hit list of every Pittsburgh Steelers fan since the season started. Because they think he's the problem, and I think he is a problem, but I also feel like Kenny's not that good.
There we go. Matt Canada is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the problem. The problem is that you have a couple, I would say, good receivers.
Mm-hmm.
George Pickens is a top 25 in the league receiver.
No.
Deontay Johnson somewhere in the top 40. Allen Robinson's the missing man. And without Pat Freiermuth, you don't really have a third.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that going to prop up a mediocre quarterback? No. You have a decent set of weapons.
Yeah.
But you made the mistake. You took a quarterback because you had to have a quarterback, and you took a mediocre one.
Well, it made all the sense in the world, didn't it? Pittsburgh kid going to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It didn't make all the sense in the world to me because I said I wouldn't take him in the first 2 days.
Right, we said it when it happened. None of us were shocked, at least the ones that were on the draft coverage that night. None of us were shocked that the quarterbacks fell as far as they did. We knew Kenny was going to be the bust. He's the only first-round quarterback, and it was pretty common knowledge that this wasn't going to be a superstar move.
No, and I wouldn't say he's a bust. I would just say he's exactly what we told you he was. He's a mediocre game manager quarterback. And when you're really good defensively and you can really run the ball, that guy can win. Unfortunately, you can't do one of those right now.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, Jaylen Warren doesn't get – he doesn't out-snap Najee Harris, which I'm officially to the point. You know what? All of you that I said that was lunacy, you were right. You're right. There's no burst to Najee Harris whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get these games with the Steelers where they just slug along. And they can bleed clock and play defense just well enough to beat a team like the Rams, who they beat a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But then they go in and play Jacksonville in their own stadium, and it was never competitive. Never for a second did I think they were the better team. And I keep hearing this narrative about, well, Mike Tomlin's just doing such a great job because they're 4-3. You could very easily be 1-6. Very easily be 1-6. Could be 0-7 if I was being 100% honest. And luck like that just doesn't last forever. And I have a weird feeling you're going to see it tonight.
Is it luck? Is it luck, or is it just solid in the moment coaching of I can get this group of guys to rise to the occasion, game in and game out, and give us a chance to win most of the time?
Well, that is a way to look at it. Now let me look at it from the realistic point of view. Any quarterback but Deshaun Watson does not lose for the Cleveland Browns because he threw 2 touchdowns to you. Raiders, all right, you were better, but it was gross.
Mm-hmm.
Ravens literally had to hand you a game on a silver platter. You had a drive the entire game where you looked like a competent offense. And you and the Rams just grossed out 60 minutes of football.
Mm-hmm.
They could easily have gotten the ball on the 40-yard line with a chance to go in and beat you. And a lot of that's luck. A lot of that's breaks. I've said this repeatedly this week. This is the worst 4-3 team I have ever seen, and I don't know that it's close.
Yeah.
And unlike Minnesota last year, I don't think you're going to keep winning these one-possession games because you're not better than the vast majority of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
Are they better than the Cleveland Browns? No. Are they better than the Baltimore Ravens? No. Are they better than the L.A. Rams?
No.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
They can be at times. And to me, that's what good coaching does.
This team, to me, is way closer to the 30-7 you got spanked by the 49ers, the 30-6 you got spanked by the by the Houston Texans, and the 20-10 that you got smacked by the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
Your 3 losses are way more indicative of who you are than the 4 wins.
Okay. I don't know how you keep doing it other than coaching. And so Mike Tomlin versus Mike Vrabel, to me, that's a hell of a chess match you got going. Do you expect Will Levis to continue to look like he did against the Falcons?
No. Well, you're going to have to narrow in a little bit on what you're asking me there. Do I think he can be the over-the-top threat that keeps a guy out of the box, which opens up play action? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got one of the biggest arms I've ever seen. He has DeAndre Hopkins, who is a threat over the top, and he can keep doing that. Do I think he's going to come out here and throw 4 touchdowns tonight? No, I don't. I would say Will Levis tonight probably looks something more like 240, 60, lowish 60% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns and a pick. And, hey, guess what? That's good enough. That's good enough.
Yeah.
Because I know almost every single week what I'm going to get out of Kenny Pickett, whether he's hurt, whether he's not hurt, whether he's 100% healthy, whether he's full of unicorn tears. It doesn't matter. He's the same guy every single week.
Yep. Divine Comedy says, Tomlin is a great coach, and he's going through what Carroll went through in the late Rush years. He's carrying a talentless roster to 500. And I think that's pretty apt. This roster's not talentless by any stretch, but I think in the places that matter today in the NFL, you're pretty talentless. Because to me, to build a winning roster in the NFL, you have to do it the Detroit Lions way. You have to start with the interior. If your interior is in shambles, I'm not going to like your prospects for winning anything. Winning a division, vying for a spot in the Super Bowl, whatever. And Pittsburgh's just not good up front.
Well, I mean, the problem with Pittsburgh is that you've drafted genuinely horribly. You hit one guy per year. But let's go down old memory lane of what you've done in the first round over the last handful of years. Broderick Jones, he's raw.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really cast aspersions on him yet, but he was raw. It was always going to take some time. Kenny Pickett, didn't have a top 2-day grade on him. You took him at 20. Najee Harris, don't ever take running backs in the first round. Liked him as a prospect. He's come here, and literally every single week he has regressed and regressed and regressed and regressed. Year before that, Chase Claypool, not even on the team anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Bush, not on the team anymore. Terrell Edmonds, not on the team anymore. It's been a long time since you hit T.J. Watt. And over time, it's just going to bleed the talent out. If you look at Pittsburgh's roster up and down, yes, you're good in the front half of your defense. No Minkah Fitzpatrick. Awesome. Safeties are terrible. Corners, not great. Joey Porter's been really good, but if you dig into that a little further, it's because he's getting the 2. And it's been so easy to pick on Patrick Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
You give me a mediocre corner that goes up against my 1, I don't have to mess with him. I can just attack you and attack you and attack you.
Mm-hmm.
And weird, that's the guy that'll be on DeAndre Hopkins tonight. I don't think it's that hard to figure out which way I'm leaning.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to look at these two teams and go, that Tennessee team looks vulnerable right now.
They did a week ago.
I was going to say, did that look vulnerable to you against the Atlanta Falcons? Because it didn't to me. It looked like a team that was on the verge of discovering something.
Well, the defense looked vulnerable when Taylor Heineke came in.
Well,
the problem is that, and I 100% mean what I'm getting ready to say, I would rather have Taylor Heineke right now than Kenny Pickett.
Yes.
And I'm not
Agreed.
sure it's all that close.
No. At this point, he's a guy, and he's not even a decent guy. He's on that spectrum of Baker Mayfield and Mitch Trubisky and, guys that they're just not they're not a thing.
No.
As soon as you get a chance to get a decent quarterback in here, you need to take it.
No, Kenny Pickett I'm going to start calling it the Kenny Pickett theory. Of if you've got a quarterback that lives in that 18 and lower tier, you don't have a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Because you come into games absolutely at a disadvantage every single time you jump on the field. Because you're either in line with them, which I would say we got one game of experience, so it's hard for me to say Will Levis is way better. He was way better in one game. Kenny Pickett had a game like that too. It was against the Buffalo Bills, first full start he had last year. And then he's regressed every single second. Teams have had tape on him.
Mm-hmm.
This is a short week, so I'm not sure Pittsburgh could have gleaned that much from one start, and I won't be shocked if Will Levis comes out here and looks really good again. Just doesn't throw for the 4 touchdowns.
Right.
But you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to track meet you. I just have to be able to outscore the definition of average.
Mm-hmm. If I score 21 points, I win this game.
Most likely, yes. Most likely, yes.
Whoever hits 20 will probably end up being the victor of this
24 points would have beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers in every game they played this year except one.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, they had 2 defensive touchdowns. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out. I look at the AFC playoff picture right now and go, I could legit see practically every team in the AFC making the playoffs. I can't see Pittsburgh. I obviously can't see the Denver Broncos or the Las Vegas Raiders. And I can't see the New England Patriots. That's it. That's it. There's just one of you is masquerading as a contender, and you're not.
Yeah. Chat continuing here about divine comedy. Said Kenny Pickett is the Mendoza line for quarterbacks. I love that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. You're familiar with the Mendoza
I am.
line? Okay, I just want to make sure. No, your baseball knowledge sometimes suspect.
I also am. I subscribe to the Barty Stinson theology of the Marie Mendoza line.
Ah, that's the only reason you know what the Mendoza line is.
Kind of like the hot crazy scale.
Right.
A little different, but not quite.
Just a little bit different. Tennessee Titans, Pittsburgh Steelers tonight. Is this a bet it don't watch game for you, Jeremy?
No. It's NFL football. We've proven this time and time and time again. You give me 2 NFL teams, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I think there's actually storylines to watch here in this one.
Now, I will not be watching any of the college grossness that you have given me.
Mm-mm.
But just a bit outside today, I do have a story about college football, and it's something you never knew you needed. And once I tell you what it is, I think you'll question your life and wonder how you ever lived without it.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick-and-mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
It is Ryan here reminding you to check out the insane, amazing wireless offer out right now from Boost Infinite. Just pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Thursday night football tonight. Tennessee Titans, Pittsburgh Steelers. Who do you like tonight? Like in this game, what's the one guy that can flip it all?
Well, the matchup I'm looking at is DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, because that's the guy that it was last week, and I have really no reason to believe that it's not going to be that tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious how close you could come on this. Where do the Pittsburgh Steelers rank defensively in yards allowed per game?
Oh, I'd say, I don't know, 12th?
Too high.
26th.
Too high.
31.
They're 30.
Oh.
There's this narrative that they're really good defensively because they have T.J. Watt.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. They're not. Cam Hayward will help that a little bit, but it's still not elite. We have this sense that the Pittsburgh Steelers are really good.
Yes.
And I always kind of laugh at these narratives because no matter what they do to change that, it doesn't seem to change the public perception. I've heard 2 separate national hosts today talk about how good that Steeler defense is, and I'm like, do you watch these games, or what am I missing? Because this is not that hard to figure out to me.
Okay.
Tennessee's not great defensively either, to be fair. The difference is I know definitively one of your quarterbacks, it has never mattered what defense he's been put up against. The other, the jury's still out.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say when Tennessee has the ball, the X factor I'm looking at is DeAndre.
But you said they're, bottom of the league in yards allowed.
Yes.
Where are they at in points?
They're higher in that.
I was going to say that's probably in the top 15 at least.
They're somewhere about 20.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I thought that might be a little higher. I guess it's probably just because of the splash plays.
Now, in terms of scoring points, they're the fourth worst team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
They play really slow. And I have a funny feeling that tonight's going to be the night we're all watching this. Most of the games they played have been really nondescript. I'm just dumbfounded by this narrative of, well, Tomlin's doing it with grit and determination. And no, he's doing it with sheer luck. Sheer, unadulterated luck, and it's going to run out at some point.
Okay. But why do you say it's luck?
Okay, so you don't score well. Teams pretty well just track meet up and down the field on you, but then they have to settle for field goals.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really that's not a rouse. That's Todd Bowles football.
It's bend, don't break.
I loathe that term.
Why?
I loathe that term. That's what god-awful teams say when they go, well, see, we only got beat 23-16. Well, you still got beat.
Mm-hmm.
Bend, don't break is not a philosophy that any good, intelligent coach has ever used, ever. You give up 400 yards a game, you're not a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Pittsburgh's at.
Yep.
I feel – I said this in the first segment, and I didn't really think about it as I was saying it. They remind me a lot of the Minnesota Vikings last year, and it took an epic amount of luck in one-possession games for them to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You're almost halfway home to where Minnesota was last year, and I still look at you and go, won't be shocked if you go 7-10.
Right.
Those are just not very good. And I don't know that Tennessee's any good. Tennessee is as inconsistent of a team as there is in the NFL. Because they seem to play very close. You absolutely dog-walked the Cincinnati Bengals. And then you lost to the Colts in a game where I never really felt like you were better than them. Then you hang with the Ravens. And for 3 quarters, basically, you annihilated the Falcons. I don't really know what you are, but this is almost like the devil I know versus the devil I don't know. I'll take the chance that Will Levis thing is really a thing, compared to exactly what I know Pittsburgh to be.
Right. George Pickens, to me, always has to be the go-to. To me, he's the only player on the Pittsburgh Steelers offense that you can look at and go, you know what, I can win games with that guy. When it comes time, it comes down to the end of the game. It's a close game. I need to put the ball in a playmaker's hands. He's the only one that I look at on that offense and go, yeah, that guy. Deontay Johnson was that guy at one point, but I'm not so sure he's there for me anymore.
Injuries and other things.
Right. It's just so many, a culmination of just things that have soured me on him.
I mean, I still believe in the talent.
Mm-hmm. The talent's still
there. But he's
there.
not as talented as he once showed.
Exactly. To me, it's got to be George Pickens. I don't know. I mean, do the Tennessee Titans have anybody in the secondary that can deal with him?
With George Pickens?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sean Murphy Bunning's the closest thing you got.
Okay, so I'm going to go with no on that one. I mean,
he's not been bad.
He's not terrible. Look, I mean, he used to play for my team, and he's here or there, right? But he's not one that. I mean, that's a close-ish matchup.
It's not a great secondary, but it's not a great quarterback that's going up against it.
No.
It's Threadbare Thursday, and what that means is we talk about what you want to talk about.
Absolutely.
I'm your huckleberry.
First one of those today from Football Fossil, one of our Canadian friends. No one's talking about the lousy weather in Frankfurt this Sunday. Rain with 30-plus mile-per-hour winds.
Yay.
I actually had that on the slate to talk about tomorrow. He took the under 51.5 yesterday. It's a good call.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real good call. Do you remember the first time we did this in England and you had grass issues and it was just a big old yuck fest? There's a possibility that's what Chiefs-Dolphins looks like this Sunday.
Okay.
Also means I have to get up early, and frankly, I'm not overly looking forward to that.
Oh, wait, so you're telling me that the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins have to get into a running game against each other?
Advantage Miami Dolphins.
I mean, I love Isaiah Pacheco as much as the next guy, but I'm not sure you're going to like how you look after that.
Yeah, Isaiah Pacheco is only legitimately good against the New York Jets.
I didn't realize that the weather was going to be that bad.
Yeah, it's not going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Although I will tell you this, be really careful wagering things 3 days out. 3 days out from Denver, Kansas City, we thought we was going to be in a nor'easter. And it was not.
True.
There's no profession on the planet that's less accurate than meteorologists, and they just lather up and show up the next day like, whoops.
I missed it by that much.
No, I said it was going to be 42 and raining. It was 70 and sunny. Oh, hey, you can make that out to Bill. Bill Weather Guy. Just give me that check.
Well, I don't know. Ours, at least, Ray Stajic of the Weather Channel, he nailed ours. It was well digger cold this morning.
Yeah, I don't. And then it's going to be like 70 tomorrow.
Saturday, I believe. Saturday is supposed to get up to 70.
That's stupid.
This morning it was 19.
That's stupid. No city on the planet should ever go from 80 to 20 to 70 in 5 days. All right? That's not weather. That's delusion.
Welcome to wonderful Western North Carolina. If you don't like the weather, come back tomorrow.
Yeah. Spin the wheel of destiny. Snow on Tuesday, hurricane on Friday.
Yeah, you are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Coming up, Jeremy's going to tell us what we've all been missing. We're going to get just a bit outside.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Looking good. Not feeling great, but it's going to start feeling better here pretty quickly over the next few days as high pressure retreats east, a little bit more southerly flow. That's the physics of it. And now the details. Sunshine, mid-50s today. Tonight, clear upper 20s. Normally colder areas will be a little chillier. Sunny tomorrow, low 60s. Over the weekend, mostly sunny both days. Highs in the upper 60s. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick and mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
College basketball is kicking off in Asheville with the Asheville Championship at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 10th and 12th, featuring the men's basketball teams from Clemson, Maryland, Davidson, and University of Alabama, Birmingham. The Asheville Championship is such an incredible way to bring quality college basketball to the fans of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Tickets on sale at AshevilleChampionship.com. Save your spot and cheer on your team at the Asheville Championship on November 10th and 12th.
Get in the spirit with 50% off everything for a limited time during the holiday preview event, now through November 13th at Banana Republic Factory. From merino wool sweaters to luxe outerwear, explore our favorite styles to give and to get.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harris Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned in one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Market.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds? At Blindster, we offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices, custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, it's playoff time, and we're set to bring you AC Reynolds hosting North Gaston. The Rockets finished undefeated in conference play. We'll see if they can carry that momentum into the playoffs. The Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show is at 7 p.m. with a kick at 7:30. Tuscola is on the road for their first-round playoff matchup at High Brighton. Cowboy John Roden will be in Lenoir with the gang, and the Mountaineer Countdown to Kickoff show starts at 7. The best high school football coverage is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
At Ingalls Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It's ESPN Asheville. Congratulations to your crew, Jeremy.
The Creed Bangers?
Yeah. It happened.
It was quite cathartic to see Creed Bangers being played in the locker room. Now, I watched not one single pitch of the World Series, much like many of the rest of you.
Yes. The ratings for the World Series were not good. Worst in history, which is awful. It's not good. It was highly predictable, though, with the banger of a matchup that we had of the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Jeremy, I know you don't know who this is. Torey Lovulo?
Nope.
He is the manager for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And after his team lost last night in Game 5 of the World Series to the Texas Rangers, he had to take to the podium for one of the saddest press conferences that you have ever seen in sports. They were asking him what's next, and he came up with the, most original answer I've ever heard.
Man, that's a good question. I just want to run away and hide for a few days. I want to go camping and just sit in the tent and suck my thumb, and eat ice cream.
I just want to eat ice cream.
Is that the weirdest answer you guys have ever had right there?
100%.
Yep, you're probably not living that one down anytime soon.
He went on to say that, look, he wants to hurt when it's time to hurt.
So is he
saying? And I want to cry when it's time to cry. And when it's time to feel good, I just want to feel good.
So is he saying everybody hurts?
He's 100% listening to way too much Morrissey, I think.
Anybody that looks at me and says, I want to go camping, I look at them and go, are you a serial killer?
Are you on the run from the government?
So what you're telling me is you want to take all of these lovely provisions that we build into houses now and say, I'm going to wipe my keister with a pine cone. I don't understand you. That doesn't sound like a vacation to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what does sound like a vacation to me?
What's that?
You know that fellow West Virginia feller, Pat McAfee, he holds a special place in my heart.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, now I feel like he's going to hold a special place in all of your hearts.
Okay.
Because this Saturday night, he will be giving you something that we didn't necessarily know we needed.
Okay.
He and Reese Davis will be live from the Thunderdome doing primetime college football's take on the red zone. They're going to bounce between the games that ESPN has.
Mm-hmm.
Although one of these games is not an ESPN game. Doing full college football red zone.
Okay.
That's exactly what I've always needed. That's exactly what I've always wanted. Give me college red zone, and I've never understood why we didn't have it.
So I thought we had this. I thought there was a goal line channel that was the same thing.
It was a weak attempt, and it was not great.
I mean, it did not have Pat McAfee and Reese Davis on it.
Which,
you're automatically putting in star power to this. It was I can't even remember what was the little guy, the little guy that does the SEC network stuff.
Dari Noka.
I think he was the original goal line guy. And I'd try to watch it, but it really and here's the thing, it focused on way too many games that I did not care about. Like they would switch from Texas and Alabama and give you, Eastern Poughkeepsie State against Boise. Like
and that is I should temper this because the games that you're getting this weekend are Iowa State, Kansas, which that's
Kansas may be in the red zone a lot.
That's halfest. USC, Washington.
That'll be okay.
That'll be a banger. You get to see Michael Penix score 700 touchdowns against the USC defense.
Caleb will have a good game too.
Will he though?
Washington's defense is not good.
No, but it's in the top 50 nationally, and we've been over this. He's only good against the least of these.
Yeah, that's true.
Rice, SMU. Mississippi State, Kentucky. UTEP, Western Kentucky, and NC State, Miami. If anybody can make that watchable, it's Pat McAfee.
Maybe.
And I as soon as I read this story, I texted Amy and I said, we have no plans this weekend. She responded with, are you asking me or telling me? Yes.
I mean, it's only going to be on for the night slate, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Starts at 7:30 on ESPN2. Well,
I was excited at first, and then you told me, wait, it's only going to be on for 3 hours, and there's only one game you're interested in. Well, why wouldn't I just watch that game?
Because you get to bounce around with Pat McAfee and Reese Davis. That's why.
Yeah, but again, it's bouncing around to games that I don't care who scores. Like what was the one that you gave me? Give me one of the off the cuff ones. What was off the radar?
UTEP, Western Kentucky.
UTEP, Western Kentucky. That game could be 78-76 in 4 overtimes, and I wouldn't even care.
Well, see, that's why this isn't built for you because you're a slackus.
I'm not. I don't care.
You're not a good college football fan. You're one of those. I watch my team in the biggest games. And
absolutely. That's it. You have to give me star power. You're going to be lucky if I watch Washington and USC.
Well, and that's why I called you what I just called you.
Oh, that's fine.
I guess you need to pick up a little bit of a gambling habit because people like me are sitting here going, bangers. There was no shot of me having a nothing but 7:30 parlay. Now there is zero chance that I don't.
It enhances the watching experience. I get it. I completely get it.
Oh, I see a bill on the UTEP Western Kentucky under. Mississippi State Kentucky under. It's just off the top of my head. USC Washington over because you couldn't set that number high enough if it had 3 digits in it.
Right. I would be way more into this if they could do all of the games. I understand the contractual obligations of not being able to do a CBS game on ESPN. I get that. So, but that was the downfall of the other one.
We've got to start somewhere.
Right.
And this took a Gnarls Barkley slate of games that I had no interest in watching, and now guaranteed that I'm going to be on my couch for all of it.
Yeah. Stephen Tao says I sound like Cowherd. Why?
Because your elitist views
Am
on I don't watch but the games that matter.
No, sorry. I don't care about the lesser teams that don't have a shot at competing for anything.
You know what I care about? Money. I like to.
I understand that.
I wager on practically everything I give you.
It's a sound idea. It's a solid idea.
Phenomenal idea.
And maybe I probably will tune in just to see what it looks like, what it sounds like.
I'm glad you finally told the truth. I was really curious to see how long that was going to take.
Well, I'll tune in, but the second you switch over to UFC or UCF and
if they switch over to UFC, this is a whole different channel than what we were talking about.
UCF and Western Kentucky, I don't care.
UTEP,
whatever.
Western Kentucky,
whatever. You just made it worse.
It's an awesome idea. You are a poo-pooer of things, and I should have known.
Old poo-pooer.
I should have known you were going to
do it all day.
On that.
Do it all day.
But I don't need you to do it all day. I mean, do I want to sit around and watch 14 hours of college football? I mean, all right, so let's say they did it all day.
14 hours of commercial-free football.
All right, well, here's what you would be getting if they did it. All right, so you'd have Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Clemson, UConn, Tennessee in the 12 o'clock slate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I don't need not nary a drop of that.
Yeah, Florida and Arkansas.
Woo.
North Carolina and Campbell. Let's go.
Woo. You're really just proving my point here.
100%. South Carolina, Jacksonville State. The Battle of the Gamecocks. How can you say no? Give me Gamecock battle updates.
Oh, how can I say no? Like this. No. That's how I can say no to that. Then you get Bedlam and Florida State, Pittsburgh at 3:30. That would get tens and tens of what? Yeah, I understand why they don't. We're going to give this to you in a small sample size, and then if it works, maybe we'll try to figure this out going forward.
Maybe so. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Jones Angel, the voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels, will be joining us at the top of the hour for Tar Heel time. We'll try to lick our wounds and reminisce about the good old days of Tar Heel football. Hey, good news, though. Basketball season starts next week, so there's that for you Tar Heel fans. Jim Harbaugh, the Big Ten coaches, had a not a press conference. It was a video call. Yeah, conference call. Thank you very much. Video conference call yesterday. Jim Harbaugh was on the call for the first 30 minutes, and then they went, we need to talk about you. You need to leave the room. And he hung up, and the rest of the coaches and administrators on the call went in about the Connor Stallions scandal, the cheating scandal, the sign-stealing scandal that has rocked the college football world. Every Big Ten coach, well, most of them anyway, very upset. They're desperately trying to tie all the strings together that, well, Michigan was bad, and then they started stealing signs. Now they're really good. So everything they've done needs to be negated. That's what I picked up.
Yeah, and that's a very predictable response.
Yes.
You couldn't beat Ohio State. Now all of a sudden this starts and you've beat them every year. Yeah, of course that's what that's going to lend itself to. I mean, I'm not surprised by this. I'm also not surprised that the NCAA basically threw cold water on this immediately of we don't legislate things in real time.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no shot that they're going to get punished for this before the end of this season.
But that's why they're asking the Big Ten to do something. And the Big Ten can.
And I don't know what are you supposed to do?
Suspend him.
For how long?
Indefinitely. This has never been done before.
I don't know that they have the power to do indefinitely.
Well, they may not. I don't know what
I think they have to put a game on it. And I'm taking that from an article I read several days ago. So if that's not accurate, forgive me.
Yeah. They would never do it. I don't think they would ever do it.
It doesn't make any sense to do it.
Doesn't it, though?
How? You have a team that's almost guaranteed to make it to the college football playoff, and you're going to suspend their coach? Apparently, doesn't it, though, makes me think, do you understand how money works? Because no matter how much of it you have, you want more. And the Big Ten wants more.
Yeah.
Of course I'm not going to do this. You know when I'm going to do it? I don't know, August of next year when Mike McDonald is the coach of the Michigan Wolverines because Jim Harbaugh went on to greener pastures.
Yeah. Here's the question. Should you get ahead of it before the NCAA can strip you of the title?
I've never understood why anybody cares about stripping titles. Did I see it? Oh, okay, then it happened. Did recruits see it? Okay, then it happened. But, when you search Wikipedia, now it's got an asterisk by it. It's a real formidable punishment. I would almost think you're a sitting judge in the United States right now. Oh, you committed a crime? I'm going to verbally admonish you.
Right.
And send you on your way with a $25 fine.
Yeah.
That you don't even have to pay.
Look, this a thing like this has never happened before. And so the argument from the Big Ten coaches is, unprecedented times call for unprecedented measures. And you need to send a statement. And I think that they're right. I would think that the Big Ten would want to send a statement that we're not going to allow this.
They do. Just not when it's going to cost them a shot at a national title.
Which really is the problem, right?
The problem
it's a moral
with this
problem that there's not a logical solution.
The problem with this whole story has always been the optics. This is just like bad officiating. Bad officiating steers into a narrative for the kooky Madookie guy that thinks every official's on the take and every game is rigged. You give them a little bit of incentive to go, well, this is obviously Michigan wasn't even good. Now I know the plays, and all of a sudden they're unbeatable. Or they're good anyway, and this helped some. We'll say how much. But now that you've been caught, God forbid you lose to Ohio State. Because if you do, holy good Lord, every Looney Tune you know will come out of the woodwork and say, see, Michigan was awful. Oh, Ohio State, go with Ohio. Oh, good. Please, dear Lord, don't let that happen.
But you still have one available, right? I mean, you still have one team that can make the college football playoff that can win you a national title. So
who is that team?
It's Ohio State.
No, you have a team that can play in the college football playoff.
They're the number one team in the country. Come on.
You added another line there. That's
shouldn't belong.
where you lost me. That's going to be a no from me, dog.
Yeah.
That can win a national title. You would get beat 45-6 by every team in that playoff right now.
A lot of people upset that the college football playoff committee did not reflect.
It's not their job.
I know, and I get it, and I completely.
Their job
agree.
is to rank the teams on the field.
They did the ranking, and there were a lot of people who were upset that they still ranked Michigan so high despite the sign stealing scandal. I can't really care about that until it's adjudicated. Right, until we have facts. Right now we have rumors. Right now we have what do they call it? Exculpatory evidence, right? Nothing's been proven yet.
The problem I've always had is if it didn't help, I don't understand why you did it. You went to a lot of trouble to try to cover it up. We had a lot of people on some content we put out over the weekend talking about this, say, oh, it didn't matter. No, it certainly mattered. If it didn't matter, you wouldn't do it. But do I think it should tarnish everything that Harbaugh's accomplished in the last couple of years with Michigan? No.
It does for me.
I don't know why.
It does for me.
See, to me, this is exactly like that Astros thing all over again. Well, they knew what pitch they were throwing. Well, look, Lucky, it does. I mean, I got a 1-in-4 shot at it anyway because every one of your pitchers can only throw 4. So.
But knowing is all of the battle, right?
No, hitting it is all of the battle.
Yeah, but if you know it's coming, it makes it way easier to hit it.
Okay, look, all right. I do have a little favor here.
Okay.
I'm friends with a couple guys that pitched in the major leagues.
Yeah.
Both of them went to Robertson. I'll make a phone call. We'll go out to the closest baseball field around here. I'll have them tell you not only what they're going to throw and where they're going to throw it, and if you even touch one, I'll be stunned.
Well, that's dumb. I'm not a baseball player. I couldn't even hit a straight fastball from an 11-year-old, much less being able to hit a curveballer from Chris Narveson.
Yeah, you'd probably hit yourself.
Exactly.
All right, I'll go one step further. We'll get
if you put Charles Thomas out there against Chris Narveson, and we
I know Charles Thomas as well.
I know, that's what I'm saying. And you go,
that could be fun.
And we'll do the experiment. Chris, you're going to throw him a curveball. Charles, you hit it. I guarantee you, he'll hit it 7 out of 10 times. Because he knows it's coming.
That could be a fun experiment to play.
Yeah.
I know one of those way better than I know the other two.
I know you played golf with Charles several times.
Yes, I love playing golf with Charles.
So I mean, look, of course, I'm not going to be able to do it. But if a pro knows it's coming, of course, it's going to be easier for him to hit it. I don't know. It was uncalled for. It was unnecessary. They did it anyway. I think the Big Ten should step in and do something.
I don't. Frankly, I'm just tired of talking about it.
Yeah.
Let's just play the damn game.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
On the way out, West Virginia Willie said he's going to call into Dabo's radio show this week and just play the recording of me going off on him. And now I don't think I want anything more.
We're
Quarterback counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
Discover, this is Daniela.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great, but with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Do you like asparagus and mushroom sorbet? I've got leftovers.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
At Summit Dental, Dr. Reinhardt believes success is defined by the quality of care, not by the number of patients seen each day. That's why Summit Dental welcomes Dr. Tompkins to the practice. Dr. Tompkins is highly trained with a doctorate in dental surgery and rigorous training here in Asheville. He's committed to providing the highest level of care and believes this is best achieved through open communication and compassionate care. Summit Dental is growing and accepting new patients. Check them out online at AshevilleSummitDental.com. That's AshevilleSummitDental.com.
Cut. Let's try something fresh, like the new scratch-offs.
I got it. Tuesday. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday.
Cut.
It's not Monday,
Aren't you a little old to be in a boy band?
There's nothing old about getting new tickets.
Well, you're right. Maybe we stick with the original track.
New tickets every first Tuesday of the month from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Problem gambling helpline, 877-718-5543.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial #250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Coffee's the closers only.
Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
A full night of Thursday night football. 1 game in the NFL, 3 in college, and I got picks on all of them. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingalls Markets. Low prices, love the savings. South Alabama takes on Troy. I'm not messing with the points. Troy's one of the best teams in the country defensively, and South Alabama is aging me at an alarmingly high rate because they can beat top 25 Oklahoma State and then lose to Bowling Green. Make that make sense. They're going to lose tonight because Troy's that good defensively, but I'm not messing with the points. Troy in the money line. Next, Duke's a 10-point favorite at home against Wake Forest. I don't care if Riley Leonard is the quarterback. I don't care if Kawhi Leonard is the quarterback. Wake Forest is absolutely atrocious, and Duke is going to run roughshod over them no matter who's playing quarterback. Give me the Blue Devils -10. TCU and Texas Tech. This line is really stupid. TCU should be the favorite in this game because I am here for the 4th week in a row saying, am I the only one that knows Texas Tech's quarterback's hurt? TCU's not good. Their quarterback is also hurt. but they're considerably better than Texas Tech. Give me the Horned Frogs in the money line. And finally, on Thursday Night Football, Tennessee Titans at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are a 2.5-point favorite. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I get that it's in Pittsburgh, but did you see Will Levis last week? Because I did, and that's enough for me to go, Tennessee Titans, I'll take them in the money line. They went outright. For more, find us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingles, love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Looking good. Not feeling great, but it's going to start feeling better here pretty quickly over the next few days as high pressure retreats east, a little bit more southerly flow. That's the physics of it. And now the details. Sunshine, mid-50s today. Tonight, clear upper 20s. Normally colder areas will be a little chillier. Sunny tomorrow, low 60s. Over the weekend, mostly sunny both days. Highs in the upper 60s. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Staging.
Pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back that won't go away? Check out QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and Greenville.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand-name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, cash. That's cash. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. It is a Threadbare Thursday. You can fire away all of your topic suggestions into the chat on YouTube. Waiting the phone to ring here for Jones Angel, the voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels. Last week was not a good one again.
It was not a banner week.
For some reason, you just get those hot starts and then fall apart. I call that Clemsoning. Not necessarily a jab at Dabo. That's actually a jab at Brad Brownell. The North Carolina Tar Heel football team is a lot like the Clemson Tigers basketball team. You just beat the snot out of people for the first 3 weeks of the season. Everybody gets all hyped. You get into the top 25, and then you start facing
Then you fight in your weight class, and all of a sudden it doesn't quite look the same.
You get actual conference competition, and it all falls apart. You go 3-18 in the ACC and end up playing in the NIT. Hopefully things can turn around for the North Carolina Tar Heels if we hear from Jay. He may be so upset over what has transpired over the last 2 weeks that he just doesn't want to do this. He just doesn't want to talk about it anymore. He knows he's gonna have to listen to my sadness, my depression as a Tar Heels fan. It's actually just a point of being well, a fan of the Buccaneers or the Jets, or they can always build you up, but they're going to tear you down like nobody's business.
That's all right. Florida State's doing just fine.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a lovely placeholder until Aaron Rodgers comes back and he and his bionic leg win me a national title.
At least I have Georgia to fall back on, right?
Yeah, I pull for a different school in football and basketball.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's the best of both worlds.
Some people would call you said Clemsoning. Some people would call that bandwagoning.
Is it bandwagoning though? If you only have two, if you have the same two for 20 years? Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Okay, just curious.
It doesn't smell right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I can't put my finger on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's like that time you had 2 NBA teams when you were making the transition from the Knicks to the Nuggets. I know you've dropped the Knicks, and that's no longer a problem.
That was never a problem.
Was it not?
No.
I thought it was. I thought you jumped on the Nuggets.
The minute I set sail on the Knicks, I actually went without a team for about a year.
Thought you were still hanging on to that hope.
It wasn't. No,
the Knicks.
No. As soon as that Charles Oakley thing happened, that's when I went, and we're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
No more of my doll hairs shall go to Jimmy Dolan.
Yep. All right. Call me a bandwagon fan. Fine. I'm good with it. Apparently that seems to be the consensus.
It has been since I've worked here.
Mm-hmm.
You get called that quite a bit around the old shop.
That's fine. So, you don't you're not a bandwagoner? Is that what you're saying? You're better than me. Is that really what this all boils down to?
I've dealt with the sadness that is Florida State basketball and the New York Jets. You call me a lot of things. Bandwagon feller ain't one of them.
Yep. All right. Just can't do it. You said you were really looking forward to this weekend. You said a lot of great games this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite?
In the college slate, it's your Georgia Bulldogs in Missouri, because I feel like that's the first team you've played that actually is pretty good. I don't know if they're 12th in the country good, but they're definitely better than the cupcake schedule you've played up until this point.
Sure, better than Kentucky.
When your second best win is Auburn, that's a bad sign.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see how that looks. I'm curious to see if how you stack up with Luther Borden. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that game that's really interesting to me. The college slate, and it seems like we do this practically every week.
Mm-hmm.
You have one game per window. In the early slate, it's Kansas State, Texas, because Texas is still hanging around. And if Malik Murphy can do what he did last week against BYU, huge jump up in competition, then Texas will hang around. And I think Kansas State's good enough to give them a run for their money. Virtually everything else in that noon slate is garbage.
Ole Miss, Texas A&M, no hope.
I don't need to see Texas A&M very much struggle to score. If I wanted to see somebody spend 3 hours struggling to score, I'd take my friends to a bar.
Oh, poor Brian Haynes.
I mean, I love Max Johnson, don't get me wrong, but, whew, buddy. That Jimbo Fisher offense is it's somehow always stuck in neutral.
Pitiful.
Then you have your game at 3:30.
Mm-hmm.
Bedlam, I guess, has a little appeal. If nothing else for me, just so we can see Oklahoma lose again.
I was going to say.
That's always a good time
waiting for Oklahoma to pick up that second loss of the season.
And then you get into the late slate, and you got Washington, USC, LSU, Alabama.
Well, no, I mean, and all of that pales in comparison to, of course, Pat McAfee and his college game.
No doubt. That's as good as it gets. You get college game day with Pat Mack and basically every good game of the night slate outside of LSU, Alabama. It's what we've always pined for, and now it's here, and we can enjoy it, even though Tank poo-pooed the Pat McAfee College Game Day
Red
Zone cast.
Yeah, I did. All right, he has joined us here, joining us now in the Sportsocracy for an abbreviated Tar Heel time here. We appreciate you taking out the time for us. Jones Angell, voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels. You can hear Tar Heel football, basketball right here on ESPN Asheville all season long. Jones, how you doing?
Good, Tank, and sorry to be a few minutes late. Unfortunately, we just learned some really sad news here at Carolina when Walter Davis, of course, Hubert Davis's uncle and terrific former player for Carolina and in the NBA, won a gold medal as well. He passed away, I believe it was last night, and so at 69 years old, Walter Davis passing away. And sorry, so just learned that information, was trying to get some info on what was going on there, so I apologize for joining you a few minutes late. But obviously sad news in total for North Carolina, and has a little more present-day relevance as well, just due to the fact that he is Hubert's uncle and so close. The two of them are so close. And so just really sad news there, and unfortunately not happy news for Carolina basketball.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. Walter was that was a little before my time, but he was still one of those that my dad always talked about growing up. Like, you missed a guy when you missed Walter Davis.
Yeah, I mean, he was a five-time NBA All-Star. He was Rookie of the Year in the NBA as well, and of course he hit one of the most iconic shots in Carolina basketball history, that nearly half-court heave to cap off that 8-point and 17-second comeback against Duke in 1974 that sent the game to overtime, and Carolina eventually won, and an all-time memorable game in Carolina's history. So certainly someone that is interwoven with Tar Heel basketball history and a great time period for Carolina basketball. Some really successful teams there in the mid to late 70s. Unfortunately, never took home a title in that time period, but a really high-quality person. We, in fact, this is maybe 3-4 years ago now. It was right before COVID. Had him in to our studio here in Chapel Hill, and Adam Lucas and I sat down and did a 30-40-minute conversation with him, and really enjoyed the time and talking to him about his career. And so just really sad news overall, and certainly our thoughts are with his entire family, including Coach Davis.
Absolutely. Amen to that. All right, Jones, let's talk about last week. Went into Atlanta, and for some reason, we just can't win down there.
Yeah, Tank, you have a game where your quarterback throws for more than 300 yards, and you have a running back that runs for more than 150, and you put up 577 yards and 42 points on the road, and you're 9 of, I think, 15 on third downs in the game, so you're hitting that clip at 60%. You got to win that game, and the only way that you don't is if your defense gives up 600 yards. That's what happened, and it was a stunning development because, as we've talked about throughout the year, Carolina's defense is not the best in the nation, but they had really taken some steps forward from what we had seen the last few seasons, and they had been more disruptive and caused more turnovers and really handled sudden change well, and we're doing a good job against the run. I mean, a lot of different things that you would hope to see for Carolina to be as good as it could be, you had seen from that defense. And then for all of a sudden, and inconsistently in this game too, because, I mean, the first quarter, Tech had the ball 3 times, and they punted once and turned it over on downs twice. And then in the third quarter, they only ran 6 plays, had an interception and a punt in that quarter. But in the second and fourth quarters, they gained over 500 yards and scored 46 points. It's like it didn't make sense, and it still doesn't really make sense. And for the defense to have that kind of performance in a game where everything else you did was good enough to win, but that performance on that side of the ball was so poor that it cost you the opportunity to win, is a head scratcher and certainly frustrating for Carolina.
Yeah, and once again, this is just the late season troubles here, and bouncing, or just reminding us of what happened last year. It's hard to forget, and now what happened so close together.
Yeah, it's up to Carolina now to change that, right? And nothing Carolina does this weekend, unless it's on the wrong side of things, is going to change that thought process.
No, don't say
because they're
that.
playing Campbell, and certainly Carolina is heavily favored in this game, as it should be. Campbell's a solid FCS team this year and program. They're still relatively young in its existence, just 15 years of football. But having said that, we all understand that Carolina should be heavily favored in this game, and it is. And again, nothing Carolina does this weekend is going to change that opinion. And that's why these final three games, Tank, Duke, Clemson State, to me, that's the defining stretch here for Carolina. How will this season be remembered? Will it be remembered that you had a little hiccup in the middle and that was frustrating, but you closed strong and did some great things? Or is it going to be you had that blip in the middle of the year and the wheels fell off? And that's now totally up to Carolina to make that decision. Now, I do think it's one challenging part to what I just said is that Carolina can still play well and not win every one of those final three games. I mean, Duke, Clemson, and State are all good teams, good programs. Two of those are on the road. All three of them are rivalry games to different extents. So those will be difficult competitive games. But Carolina has put itself in position now where it needs to win those. It has no wiggle room to accomplish any of the things that it wants to accomplish. And so that's frustrating too, because I think in total Carolina is better than Virginia and Georgia Tech, but they were not able to prove that for 60 minutes on the field. And so disappointing that they've done that, and now only they can get themselves out of this hole.
Yep. And, now you're 6-2 on the year, hoping that you can finish out 10-2 and still get a really good bowl assignment. It's all about beating the rivals from here, though.
Yeah,
that's the highlight.
Yeah, that's the defining stretch for Carolina. They're still in the mix for the ACC championship, but you've lost control of that.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 weeks ago you had control, and now you can still do it. But you're going to have some help from other teams, and you have no margin for error. And the error has occurred, and so with better teams still to play, and that's where you've really gotten yourself in a pickle if you're Carolina. Now, I do think this weekend, I said I think from the outside, nothing Carolina does is going to change the feelings or the importance of what is happening after this weekend. But I do think, Tank, Carolina can do things this weekend that carry over to the following weeks. And, Hubert Davis said this after the exhibition win that Carolina had on the basketball side where, look, you expect to win an exhibition, you expect to win it handily, which the Heels did, but he felt like his team did things in that game that could travel, if you will, that could carry regardless of opponent. And I think that becomes important this weekend for Carolina. Do you do things this weekend that are important and give you opportunities to win, whether you're playing Campbell or you're playing the Cowboys? It doesn't matter. And so for the Tar Heels, to me, that has got to be one of the focuses this weekend. Obviously, your number one goal is to win the game. We understand that. But that they are doing so in playing a style and to a level that can carry over for the weeks to come after that.
Yep. Social media, I saw a pretty gnarly picture of Tez Walker's ankle. What's the injury situation with him? Do you know?
I haven't seen that. The last time I spoke to the coaches was earlier this week, and I'll get another opportunity tomorrow. But the latest information I had from them was, first of all, Tez did not travel back with the team on Saturday, came back separately on Sunday, but was okay and was expected to go through practice this week and expected, barring any major setback, to be available to play. Now, again, that was the information earlier in the week. That may have changed, and again, I'll get that opportunity tomorrow to shore that up. But he, if there is nothing major that happens once he gets into practice and starts running and getting hit and all those different things, he's expected to go. I think a larger question, Tank, is how much do you want him to go and how much does he need to go? Because I think Carolina, ideally, is by mid-third quarter or something, it doesn't have starters in the game anymore. But that, again, is up to the Tar Heels. Do they play to the level that they can get a multi-score lead and and they can start running some guys out there to get them some valuable reps? Or do you still have to have Drake May and Tez Walker and Omarion Hampton and Cedric Gray and those guys out on the field? Because it's still close enough and competitive enough that you have to have your best guys out there. And so that'll all be a storyline, I think, that we'll see unfold coming up on Saturday.
We are just 4 days away from the start of basketball season. First official game coming up Monday night, and it's against the Radford Highlanders.
Yeah, I tell you, Radford not bad. Yeah, they won 21 games a year ago. They were having a good year, had some off-the-court issues with their coaching staff late in the season, and they wobbled some there, had a stretch in February where they lost 4 or 5, and ended up, though, getting to the championship game of their conference tournament, played in the CBI in the postseason last year. And they are like a lot of teams at that level, Tank, and that is they've got some good guards. They shoot the three a lot. They're probably a little undersized. But they're going to play hard, and they're going to give Carolina a challenge. And so I think it's a really good first opponent for Carolina because the Tar Heels are going to have to do some things to win the game because I think Radford is old enough and good enough to at least to be able to handle itself in this game. And I think I was talking to somebody about this earlier today. You know, the Tar Heels are not in a spot. What has this group accomplished? You know what? I mean, they're in a spot where they've got to go out and prove it. They're ranked in top 20, but that's because their name's North Carolina. This group is with some holdovers from last year with a lot of new pieces. They've got to go show what they are. And so we've seen it a little, in the late night event and in the exhibition game, but this is a different level of competition and a different level of execution will be needed. And for Carolina, the Tar Heels play first 3 games at home. There's a game against UC Riverside and Radford, and there's another game in there too that the Tar Heels should be heavily favored. But I'm going to tell you something. After that, it is go time. Carolina's schedule is hard. They play 3 games in the Bahamas where there's some good teams. They play Kentucky. They play UConn. They play a lot of good teams. Oklahoma, here early Tennessee. So there's some really good teams on the Tar Heel schedule here over the first 2 months before they get consistently into ACC play. So we're going to find out pretty early what type of team the Tar Heels have because they're going to be going against some of the other teams that have really high hopes as well this season.
Yep. Already seeing some of the highlight plays coming out from Elliot. Is it Kadu? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Elliot Cadeau. Yeah,
Cadeau.
He can really see the floor. He has got next level vision with the ball in his hands. He's just one of those guys that can see the floor. That is a willing passer that can make routine or make difficult plays look routine. He's really good in that regard. Now, he's not a finished product. I think he'd like to shoot a little more consistently. He needs to be better on the defensive end. He got in some foul trouble even in the exhibition game where he had 3 fouls, I think, in the first half. So all those things are going to be areas for growth, but there's no question that he has a baseline of talent that is way up there and has a skill set that can carry over regardless of the level of competition that you're playing. And so his ability to handle and distribute the basketball is way up there.
All right, North Carolina Tar Heel basketball and football heard all season long right here on ESPN Asheville. And, of course, Jones will have the call on all of that for us, just doing the yeoman's work. Jones, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, Tank, and look forward to talking with you again soon.
Absolutely. You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need for the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
At the North Carolina Education Lottery, we love to celebrate winners. So I hired a town crier to announce Pick 3, Pick 4, and Cash 5 winners.
Hear ye, hear ye.
But there are thousands of winners every day.
Oyez, oyez, oyez. I may not have thought this through.
A proclamation of jubilant accord.
Who gave him a bell?
Daily draw games. What will you do with your win? Must be 18 to play. See Pick 3, Pick 4, and Cash 5 prize and odds charts at nclottery.com for details. Problem gambling helpline, 877-718-5543.
It is Ryan here reminding you to check out the insane, amazing wireless offer out right now from Boost Infinite. Just pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
Save on stuff you really need and stuff you bought for fun. Stuff you've always really wanted this holiday at Amazon. Stuff that is discounted if you're naughty or you're nice. Stuff to buy your grandma who drinks her Chardonnay with ice. Stuff to make you big and strong. Stuff we can't name in this song. Stuff for lawns and decking halls. Save big on stuff at Amazon. Stuff.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
We are in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville. Follow us on all the socials at the Sportsocracy. Josh McDaniels got fired, which was a great move by the Las Vegas Raiders.
I've yet to find one Raider fan that wasn't happy about it.
They also fired Dolph Ziggler, the GM of the coach. Or the GM of the team, not the GM of the – I mean, I guess it technically was the GM of the coach, and now he's fired. Anyway, offensive coordinator got cut loose as well. And we had a question in the chat of, does Josh McDaniels get another OC job?
I will say no.
Never?
I think there's only one person that would hire him at this point. I mean, because, look, we've seen him as an OC in other places. He was with the Rams under Jeff Fisher, and it wasn't good. I think there's only one person that really looks at him and views him as an offensive mind. He struggled offensively everywhere else he's ever gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, outside of New England, of which Bill O'Brien's not getting a head coaching job this cycle, at least I don't know how you would sell that to a fan base.
Right.
I've thought pretty much this entire year Bill O'Brien's going to have to get a head coaching job in college before he gets another one in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And what's happened this year has done nothing to quell that to me. I don't think he'd fire Bill O'Brien to bring in Josh McDaniels.
I don't think so either. I think Josh McDaniels probably does end up becoming an offensive coordinator, but probably not immediately. I don't know if any other team is going to look at him and go, yeah, that he's going to change my offense.
Like I said, Bill's the only one that still views him that way.
He'll be hired as the quarterback's coach or the passing game coordinator or something under Bill O'Brien.
I don't know that he takes that. I really don't.
He should. Unless he wants to go head coach in college somewhere.
Oh, that would be a nightmare. Can you imagine that guy trying to recruit?
I mean, all the stuff that came out of the locker room was he was treating everybody in Las Vegas like they were in college anyway, so maybe he's more suited for the college game.
You know what I think he's suited for? Sitting on his couch.
No. I mean, he's still probably good for some level of football.
Pee-wee. Yeah, I'm sure he could be a great termites coach somewhere.
Once you've been to the mountaintop,
I just
once
don't
you've
know how
been a
you
head
sell
coach. Oh, to hire him anywhere?
I don't know how you sell it, certainly as a head coach at any level.
No.
I don't care where it is. I'm trying to think of, is there a spot that could say, oh, we're bringing in Josh McDaniels? You would have to be bad. And I'm trying to think of a fan base that would even buy that. And there's not one coming to me.
Yeah. I mean, you're not really going to send, like, Pittsburgh Steelers fans running and screaming in the streets if he replaces Matt Canada, if they decide to go down that path.
Kelvin Joyner said if he's told he's the next guy after Billy takes it, and I don't really know that you could even say that at this point.
At this point, would he be?
I don't think so.
Bill's already
to me,
seen
he would
him
fall
do
behind
this
Bill.
twice.
He would fall behind Bill O'Brien. He would fall behind Gerard Mayo.
Yep.
Hell, I think he would fall behind Bill's kid at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, mulleted num-nums.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he has that spot that close to Bill Belichick's heart because it was long said that was the case, right? That he was the heir apparent. And then he left the second time because they said it about him at the first time. Then he left and went to Denver. It was terrible. And then he comes back and rejoins Bill. And then he leaves again. And now I think Bill has already found his heir apparent. Or at least I think Robert Kraft has found his heir apparent.
I would say Gerard Mayo probably is the heir apparent to Bill at this point.
That's all I have heard, is that's the plan now. And maybe that changes.
I can't fathom somebody trying to the press release on that would be hilarious. The only coach in NFL history that's ever been fired inside of 2 seasons twice.
Mm-hmm.
He's really going to save our offense. Well, has he been a good coordinator outside of New England? No, God, no. It's been awful. I also can't fathom, and I can't remember, I would give credit to whoever said this, but I don't remember who it was. Somebody posted on Twitter, imagine getting 2 shots as a head coach. The first one, you tie yourself to Tim Tebow.
Mm-hmm.
You wait almost a decade to get another shot, and you tie yourself to Jimmy Garoppolo. Woof.
I mean, that's somebody who's just a slave to what you know, right? I'm not willing to go out on a limb and try anything new.
That's a weird way of saying sadomasochist, but okay.
Well, but I mean, look who he learned from, right? He learned from Bill Belichick, who feels like my way is the best way, and we're going to do this my way. And Josh McDaniels took that same philosophy and thought he was good enough. Guess what? You're not. You're not good enough. You never were good enough. And now you've got a problem because now you're out of a job and nobody wants to give you one. See, I think it would be it makes all the sense in the world for me, for him, if he wants to keep coaching and he wants to be a head coach, take the step down. Go to college. Go to college and go coach like Arkansas or something. Sir Jimothy said in the YouTube comments, Colorado after Prime leaves.
Well, based on how this year's ending out, I would say that's a little further in the future.
Oh, you don't think Prime's ready to move on just yet?
Oh, good Lord, no. No, you can recruit. Jimbo Fisher can recruit.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a better coach than you.
Yep.
And that should tell you everything I think about this Coach Prime thing and where it sits right now.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of college programs that would be happy to give him an opportunity.
Yeah, you said Arkansas. I think you left off a word. Arkansas Pine Bluff.
No. One of these Power 5 programs would give him a job.
No way.
Really?
You got to understand how much of college football is your reputation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough sell. This dude that was a head coach twice and typhooned two franchises. The offense has been awful. I mean, all right, so think about it this way.
We're missing it. We're missing the perfect scenario. He becomes the offensive coordinator at Alabama. Right? He's got the Nick Saban connection with Bill. And he is the next
of all the things
candidate.
I've heard, that probably makes
he
the
is
most
the
sense.
next candidate in the Nick Saban Rehabilitation School for Coaches.
Of
Bill
all the
O'Brien?
ones I've heard, that probably makes the most sense.
Bill O'Brien did it. Lane Kiffin did it. Steve Sarkisian did it. Why wouldn't he? Why would he not? The number one thing Nick Saban's been criticized for, right, is not having the lineage of coaches the quality of coach waiting in the wings that he has had. Josh McDaniels.
When your staff gets gutted every year, it's kind of hard to keep that up.
Right. But I'm saying this is the next in line.
I can't figure out how anybody's going to hire him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anything to do with him. I don't want him as a quality control coach, let alone as an on-field anything.
Is he that toxic?
What's he ever done that makes me think, yeah, that'll work? Take Tom Brady out of it and give me even a player that got better with him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can take Tom Brady out of the scenario and say the same thing about Bill. We do it all the time.
They're eerily the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Bill's older and was a much better hirer of talent as a coach. Although I will give McDaniels credit, I always liked Patrick Graham. But that almost felt like it was an accident of he didn't want to be in New York anymore and you were just the team with a job.
I hadn't thought about that before. I'm liking him going to Alabama every second that I think about it, because that is what he needs. He needs to be hooked up with a winner to have a reclamation.
The biggest problem there is I don't know
that image.
I mean, he would almost have to start as one of those quality control guys that the what is that term? Analyst.
Mm.
That's what Sarkisian started as.
There you go. Just climb the ladder. Year by year.
I was
and
a
he'll be back
two-time
in the
NFL
saddle.
head coach, and now I'm going to go be an analyst like Butch Jones was at Alabama. Oof.
Bill O'Brien. He did it.
Stop hiring New England Patriot coaches. It's never worked. It never will work. And the most successful one of the bunch was Eric Mangini. That should tell you everything you need to know.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. It is a Threadbare Thursday. Get into the YouTube comments and throw out your topics. We'll get to them before the end of the program. When we come back, it'll be time to get weird.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Looking good. Not feeling great, but it's going to start feeling better here pretty quickly over the next few days as high pressure retreats east, a little bit more southerly flow. That's the physics of it. And now the details. Sunshine, mid-50s today. Tonight, clear upper 20s. Normally colder areas will be a little chillier. Sunny tomorrow, low 60s. Over the weekend, mostly sunny both days. Highs in the upper 60s. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Shop Lowe's Black Friday every day. Get the lowest prices of the year on select major appliances and save $100 on every $800 you spend. Valid through 11/8. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Aw, you know kids will be kids.
Oh, I don't know why they're trying to make a big deal of it. It's just a harmless rite of passage.
If she didn't want to be picked on, she shouldn't wear that thing on her head.
If he's going to dress that way, he's just asking for the extra attention.
It's just a stage. All kids face some bullying. They'll get over it.
That girl, she just brings it on herself. I don't feel bad for her at all.
It's just
all kids get something. It's just a stage. It's just a harmless rite of passage.
Don't validate. Eliminate. All students in North Carolina deserve a safe learning environment without the threat of bullying. I'm Mark Jewell, president of the North Carolina Association of Educators. It's up to us as educators, as parents, as adults, to stand up on behalf of bullied students. Identify, intervene, and advocate. One caring adult can make all the difference in the world.
Visit NEA.org/bullyfree. A message from the North Carolina Association of Educators.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Get in the spirit with 50% off everything for a limited time during the holiday preview event, now through November 13th at Banana Republic Factory. From merino wool sweaters to luxe outerwear, explore our favorite styles to give and to get.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, back in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville. It's time to get weird, and let's go to Florida. Cape Coral, Florida. Look, sometimes when you find, when you run a business and you see another business does a successful promotion, why not? We gotta do something similar to, help boost our business. There's a roofing company down in Cape Coral. They're called Roofies, which is weird. Roofies? Your name is Roofies?
Wait. There's a roofing company named Roofies?
100%. It's ROOF space EZ. So is it Roof EZ or is it Roofies? Because that sends the wrong message.
I'm going to say 100% that it's Roof EZ, because I don't think even the dumbest businessman could go, I started a roofing company and called it Roofies.
I feel like that's a bad name in a college town, right?
No, that's a bad name, period. I don't care where you do it.
So anyway, Roofies has, I'm not going to call them anything else now. Roofies has come up with a November sale, and they're calling their November sale the Roof and Gobble.
And now we have to wait.
It's not even the great part. It's not even the best part of the story.
We have to wait for Tank to laugh at his own joke.
So the Roof and Gobble is, if you buy a roof from us for November, we'll give you
free turkey.
A free turkey. That's right.
So
but
you want
wait.
a $10,000 roof, and we'll give you a $20 turkey.
But wait, there's more. They've decided that that's not enough. That they're also going to throw in, with the purchase of a new roof, not only with the roof and, of course, their superior service at Roofies, you are also going to be able to get an AR-15. What? Apparently, when contacted about the ad, because Facebook denied the ad.
Of course they
did. Because you can't give away guns on Facebook.
I thought this was America.
Yeah, right. The guy told the news team that gave them a shout about this. He said he actually saw the idea, and a company in Alabama did it, and he thought, hey, we're in Florida. It's the most Florida thing you can do, right? Give away a gun with a new roof.
No, the most Florida thing you can do is crimes.
The most Florida thing you can do is name your roofing company Roofies.
You're not wrong. I see no lies in that.
Roof and Gobble. Let's go.
My story also comes from the state of Florida, because they do things like this. The county is DeSoto County.
Mm-hmm.
Sheriff's office, they saw a truck. They thought it was really a danger to public safety, and they felt the urge to put out a press release about it. The driver of the truck was one Gabriel Luviano. He's well known around DeSoto County because apparently he has a truck that competes in big truck competitions.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds like a very Florida thing.
Is this like monster trucks? Or?
No, because it's just it's a standard truck. It's a Chevy Silverado, and it looks kind of like a Border Patrol car.
Okay.
But where it's supposed to say Border Patrol, it says Booty Patrol. It also has red and blue lights. There are a few other things on the truck that I can't say on this show.
Mm-hmm.
So they pulled the truck over and they put out a press release really celebrating their victory that they had gotten this impersonator off the street for impersonating law enforcement. There's only one problem. Mr. Luviano said, I don't impersonate law enforcement. I compete in truck shows. That's what the lights are for. I've never pulled over anyone. I've never done any of that.
Okay.
So they put out this post on Facebook. That was on Monday. Today is Thursday. They have had to edit this post 3 times because the comments have just been roasting them for what idiot would pull over for a car that says Booty Patrol. It says it on the hood. I don't think that one's going to get me. And he's very well known around the county that he lives in. Not quite the victory lap you thought you were going to be taking.
Yeah, yeah.
And let me just, as somebody that spent a lot of my life in bars, any guy that's driving a truck that says Booty Patrol ain't patrolling much of what he's after. That guy goes home and drinks domestic lights by himself a lot.
Yep, yep. That sounds like a car Felice Johnson would own.
100%. I'm a warrior. Let that be known.
Yeah. I think I should get something like that painted on my car.
No, you should.
Really? No? No, you don't think that would send the right message to the neighborhood?
You should get a little tag on the back of your car that says, I promise I'm not on a list.
What's that supposed to mean?
I will say that. So Tank never checks our social media comments ever. I tend to be the one that's more loud and boisterous and say more spicy things. I've been trying to sprinkle Tank into the reels.
Mm-hmm.
There is one, and I'm not going to tell you which one it is. It had 4,000 comments as of the last time I looked. You should probably avoid that one.
It didn't go well for me?
It did not go well for you. It took me probably 100 replies of defending. Why are you calling me fake? You can only see me from the shoulders up. I could be Captain America for all you know. And then somebody said hunched over a microphone, and I immediately went, oh.
That guy.
Oh, you're not referencing me. Aha. That makes a lot of those comments make a lot more sense.
There you go.
And then I laughed for 10 solid minutes. Then I went back and read them and laughed some more. It's like, you got it this time.
Finally, he's getting older.
Not me this time. They called you fat like 100.
Nice. I don't even kind of care.
Nope. Doesn't care at all.
Don't even care enough to go and look. That's how much I don't care.
Oh, it was one of those times that I went, man, that hoof beats horses, zebras. And
that's one of the things that I will never understand about this this generation and the social media content creators and stuff. When you hear them bitching and complaining on their streams about all the hate that they get from responders and mean people on the internet, don't Why you care?
Here, let me give you if you are a content creator or you're a person that does things on the internet, let me give you something that I have learned over the last 3 years, because I reference these a lot because I find them to be hilarious. We had a guy, this has probably been 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm going to put it delicately and say that his body type would be categorized as a touch doughy.
Mm-hmm.
And he felt the urge to say that at some point he played in the NFL. People commenting on that literally were taking pictures off his Facebook to go, was it here? He was about 4 bills at that time. Was it here? And when you say you played in the NFL, what exactly are you referring to? Were you the caddy that they set Gatorade on? Funniest comment. I didn't come up with that one. If you're going to create content, do those things, and you really want to understand who some of these people are, do it on Instagram. Instagram gives you the ability to click on their profile. You take one look at the people that comment these things, and you'll immediately go, oh, yeah, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even kind of care what you think.
Yeah. No.
Because 98% of them are people that I guarantee you, if they walked up to me in public, would not even look my direction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm 6'5", 260. There was one that I'm not sure wasn't 5'2", 85. Like, oh, you want to be a big man on the internet? Okay. All right. You yell upstairs. You tell your mom to bring up meatloaf down. Because,
Yep. Just don't do it. It's such a fever swamp. It's such a fever swamp of just overreaction and hatred and all of the things. And I don't know why anybody invests time in it. I really don't.
Well, I do it, because it amuses me.
Oh, sure. If you can get a kick out of it, absolutely. But I'm talking more to like people like my parents. My parents, my uncle, there's another word for that. Democrats.
We're going that way, eh? All right.
I'm just saying, people that will get online and they will look in these comment sections and just get so wrapped up in arguing with somebody that they don't even know, they've never even seen, and they have no idea who this person is. I mean, this could be the dumbest box of rocks that you've ever met in your entire life, and here you are trying to have a logical conversation with these people. Don't do that.
I have never tried. There are 3 kinds of response you get from this show if you comment on social media. If you say something thoughtful and intelligent, you will get a thank you and we really appreciate you consuming the product that we do. If you say something that requires some kind of debate, I will happily debate with you. If I get the misspelled, you're stupid, you're fat, and you're ugly. Well, here's the thing. They're tough, dude. I talk about sports for a living, and I'm married to grown-up Kelly Kapowski. Your little words on the interwebs are not going to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a canned response. I literally have a button that will respond that.
Good for you.
Every single time.
Good for you.
Now, what I don't understand is, what do you think you're going to get out of that? Are you ever going to say that and the person just immediately go, you know what, you're right, I am fat and stupid. I should stop doing that. I'm going to go get on a diet and learn a book right now.
Yes.
Or you just scream your opinion, or what are you waiting on somebody to go, you know, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. Good job.
It's a great response there. Darth Vader 17. They always have the goofiest screen names, too.
Yeah.
Many of which I can't say on the show, no matter how bad I want to.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy's got more bangers coming up in just a little bit here on ESPN Asheville. Stick with us after the break. He will have his parlay of the night, and it is
a big old biggin.
Okay. I was going to say involved. 10 legs is a lot.
10 leg Thursday Night Football. Let's go. BetUs.com. Generational wealth. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
And people will say, oh, I have hit one. You keep saying I've never hit one. I've never hit one that big.
That's what I was going to say. Give me a chance.
Well, you've said it incorrectly enough times that I didn't correct you. So.
You have hit one, or maybe 2. Since we've been
over the years
since we've been giving them out. But what I'm saying is, pick and choose. Because you seem to always give out, I got a 7-legger. And then you come in the next day and go, I hit 6 legs of the 7 leg. How do I choose which one I need to leave out? You're going to give a 10-leg parlay coming up in just a minute, and the challenge of the night is for everybody else to figure out which 8 of them are going to hit.
Because that's usually how it goes.
Exactly.
Or find a website that'll pay you on 8 of 10.
Yes.
Those do exist.
Oh, do they have those?
Oh, yeah, those do exist.
No, that was the thing. I can put in a 10-legger and get paid on part of it?
Well, the only problem is that you put in a 10-legger that would, in this case, pay you $2,400. If you hit 9 legs, they'll give you about, I don't know, $100.
And
then you
as long as I get something back.
You hit 8 legs, and they'll give you about $1.25.
It's a return on the investment, right? Anything's better than nothing.
I want to go fast, Ricky Bobby, and if you ain't first, you're last.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Jeremy's parlay of the night. Coming up next. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Are you sick and tired of living with that constant pain in your knees and back? Joint pain doesn't just keep you from doing what you love. It affects your job, your relationships, even simple things like getting dressed. It's time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, giving you your life back. Hips, shoulders, elbows, they can all be treated with natural biologics from your own body. Powerful healing agents, highly concentrated. If you're tired of steroid shots that don't work, or if you're trying to avoid surgery, call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation. Learn about these exciting new cutting-edge treatments for pain caused by arthritis or injury. No drugs, no pain meds, no downtime. This is an all-natural treatment that can get you lasting relief. People here are raving about the results. Call now. Appointments are available for this coming week. QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. In Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
All across the Tar Heel State, this is Carolina football.
Stepping through a tackle and stepping to the end zone. It is pouring points in Chapel Hill. Holy cow, Carolina's going to win.
The Heels return to Chapel Hill to face Campbell. Pre-game coverage starts at 11 a.m., kickoff at noon on your home for Carolina football.
Asheville's home for the Tar Heels is ESPN Asheville.
It's a big one. It's about as big a parlay as you'll ever hear me give, and people will say, but you never hit them. I'm getting close, and if I hit this one, it will pay for you to put 5 on it every day for the next year and a half. We start South Alabama, Troy. I gave you Troy money line in the first hour. Add to that under 44.5. Troy's a really good defensive team, not a great offensive team, and both of them really like to run. Duke, Wake Forest. Duke minus the 10. Under 42.5. Jordan Waters, anytime touchdown scorer. I think this is going to be a gross fest. They're going to run a lot with a limpy Riley Leonard. Even if he's good to go, I don't think he'll be 100%, which means they'll lean on the running game. TCU, Texas Tech. TCU money line under 59.5. Add all of those together with the Thursday night game. Tennessee Titans in the money line over the 37.5. Over 201.5 passing yards for Will Levis. You put 5 on that, just like I am, and it pays you $2,177. That's enough for you to play for a long, long time. Only got to hit one to make this segment profitable. Take those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy to get a 125% deposit match on your initial investment and up to 30 risk-free bets so you can wager football with us all season long.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Looking good. Not feeling great, but it's going to start feeling better here pretty quickly over the next few days as high pressure retreats east, a little bit more southerly flow. That's the physics of it. And now the details. Sunshine, mid-50s today. Tonight, clear upper 20s. Normally colder areas will be a little chillier. Sunny tomorrow, low 60s. Over the weekend, mostly sunny both days. Highs in the upper 60s. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Staging.
'Tis the season. When you're in the mood for holiday music, listen live with the iHeartRadio app and on your radio.
97.7 The Brew is Asheville's Christmas station, brought to you by Balkan Roofing and Ingalls Markets.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
Cut. Let's try something fresh, like the new scratch-offs.
I got it. Tuesday. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday.
Cut.
It's not Monday,
Aren't you a little old to be in a boy band?
There's nothing old about getting new tickets.
Well, you're right. Maybe we stick with the original track.
New tickets every first Tuesday of the month from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Problem gambling helpline, 877-718-5543.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank. That's bank. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
We're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It's 92.9 FM, 880 AM. 1400, the Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, and that way you can join us in the chat. We've covered a lot today. Still got more to go over the next hour here. Daily draft coming your way. And we were asked in the chat on this Threadbare Thursday, get your comments and your topic suggestions in. We'll get to them before the end of the hour. We were asked about teams that could make a run in the second half of the NFL season. So I guess that's going to be our daily draft topic today. Correct. Of which teams can make a run. And are we talking Super Bowl run, or are we talking just playoff run?
We're talking legit playoff run.
Okay, because I don't know that there are too many teams that I feel like are legit Super Bowl contenders, even have the capability of winning a Super Bowl.
Oh, I have a few that I think are. And we culled this and said that we're taking out any team that has 6 or more wins. So that takes out the Lions, Eagles, Chiefs, Jaguars, Ravens, and Dolphins.
Mm-hmm. All right, where do we? Who's starting? Who's got the first pick?
Start.
You gonna let me start? Okay. Well, let's go with.
You say, I've got literally 7 teams that I wouldn't blink at.
Really?
I don't
to
think
make
there's
a run?
Who's the great team in the NFL right now? Who's great? Is Philadelphia great?
Philadelphia's
great. They're great.
Yeah,
I don't agree with you.
Really?
I don't think there is a great team. That's why this topic was so interesting to me.
Okay.
Miami can't stop anybody. Baltimore, well, let's. I'm gonna be nice about this. How many times do you have to do this to me before I go? Is it though? Jacksonville's brand new to this. Kansas City has the highest drop rate in the NFL. Philadelphia's play call has left a lot to be desired. And, well, we do remember Detroit got beat 38-6, right?
Right.
Okay. That's the teams that got culled out.
There's to make a deep run, I believe Buffalo has to be my first one.
They were my 5, just to be clear.
Really?
I get it with Buffalo. We've seen them do it. They're playoff tested. They've got a quarterback. They've got a tremendous home field advantage if they can win the AFC East because you got to come into Buffalo and beat me. The problem I have with the Buffalo Bills is you've never been able to get over that hump, and this is the worst that roster has looked in 4 years.
And it might be the toughest your back half of your schedule's ever been.
If they make it through the schedule and win this division, I don't want to deal with Buffalo.
I don't think you want to deal with Buffalo anyway. Nobody wants to play them. Nobody is looking forward to playing them because it does feel like in most scenarios, they're the better team coming in. You just don't know if you're going to get the benefit of the play, right? Whatever that back-breaking play is going to be, you don't know if it's going to be your week for Josh Allen to throw the game away or to fumble the ball away.
Well, that's a big detractor for me is Josh Allen has had turnover issues. The thing that has always given me hope about Buffalo is that his special is really special. And so if you caught one of those 3-game stretches where you didn't see turnover playoff, and it's historically been in the playoffs, Josh Allen, if you don't see that guy that turns the ball over that level, they have incredible talent. You've got a legit 1. I think you got a legit 2. You've got weapons around the offense. For me, it all comes back to coaching. I don't trust Sean McDermott. I never have. And now you don't have Brian Daboll. Now it's Ken Dorsey who's done nothing to make me feel like he's the one that's going to get you over that hump.
Okay. All right. Who would be your 1?
My 1 would have been my 1, my 2, my 4, my 5. It's the Cincinnati Bengals, and it's not even close. Cincinnati is the team that I look at and go, you're exactly what I thought you were. You just started really slow. Because now the defense is good. You got Joe Burrow on track. The offensive line is getting better. I don't see Cincinnati's the one team that's not in that higher echelon right now. I don't see a hole. Like, what is the hole on that team right now?
No, I mean, they've had problems in spots with the offensive line.
Been real good 3 weeks in a row. Still don't love your guards, but I've never loved your guards. Even the year you went to the Super Bowl, didn't love the guard play.
Yep.
But Jonah Williams is rounding into form on the right side. Orlando Brown's getting closer to what you paid for. I mean, he's still not there yet, but he's getting closer. Now you've got weapons that just seem to be appearing every single week. Andrea Iashivas. I checked the pronunciation guide. That's how it's in the guide. If that ain't right, sue me.
Yep. Iashivas. He's a touchdown monster.
Yeah.
He's the new Rashid Shaheed. Every time he touches the ball, he scores a touchdown.
But I mean, that's your 4. You haven't even really uncovered what T. Higgins can do yet, and I would argue he may be the best second receiver in the NFL.
Yep.
You've run it well a couple weeks in a row, and I just look at that defense and go, man, that's a lot of names that I'm used to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no instability on the defense. I know what you can do. I've seen 9 of these 11 guys do it. So for me, Cincinnati was the easy one.
Okay.
2 was a little bit more difficult. And I thought about this, and I don't want to say what I'm getting ready to say, but there's another team that I don't think you'll take. I'm going to say the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to say the Dallas Cowboys, and if you are that team that I believed in coming into this season, this is a week you really get a chance to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have the talent. You've got one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. Can you do it in spite of Dak Prescott? Because I have mentally gotten to the point where I don't think he's ever going to win you playoff games consistently. And if you're not going to win the division, he's going to have to win you 3 of them. Probably at least 2 of them are going to be on the road. It's hard for me to get to that point. That's why it's hard for me to get to that point with a couple other teams as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at the high side of the talent. You better have 2 really good tackles, or Micah Parsons is going to be a problem. You better have 3 really good corners, or CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks and Michael Gallup are going to be a problem. And I haven't even seen the other 2 be good at this point. They had spots here and there. Cooks has a couple touchdowns. Michael Gallup's been largely irrelevant, but you have all the pieces.
No doubt about it. Dallas, not a bad selection by you.
And if Deron Bland can just keep taking every time he touches a football, it goes back to the house, kind of mitigates my problem with your secondary.
Yeah, no doubt. He's become this year's Trayvon Diggs after Trayvon Diggs went out for the season. I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers for my next selection.
Ooh, that was not mine. That was not one of mine.
Why?
Because Brock Purdy is the worst of all of those quarterbacks.
Okay.
And I don't even think it's debatable at this point.
Okay.
If after the last 3 weeks you're still defending that kid to me, you're biased, and I have absolutely no reason to stoke the flames on your delusion.
But the rest of that team is good enough.
Is it? I just watched your defense get eviscerated twice. Once against a team that I don't value to be all that good.
Nothing that can't be fixed. Nothing that they can't patch up.
I don't know if Steve Wilkes can fix it.
Really?
I don't.
I don't think he's long for that job, honestly.
Well, I mean, who are you going to replace him with?
I have no idea.
You're not going to fire him in. You're not going to fire him in the season.
There's got to be something on there.
You're not firing Steve Wilkes.
You're going to take it. You're going to take the play calling duties away from him. You're going to do something.
For who?
I don't know.
Kyle Shanahan going to do it?
I don't know.
Doesn't if you can name me one example, I've heard that floated. If you can name me one example of that happening, maybe I'll listen to it.
There's never been a defensive coordinator in the history of the game that has ever had play calling duties taken away from them.
In 8 games? Not one that I can find.
Okay.
I've been doing this almost 15 years. I can't find one time that it's ever happened. And if it has, feel free to tell me, but I can't find it.
Yeah.
The internet doesn't know about it either.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when that, but I'd have to imagine it happens all the time where head coaches give up play calling duties. I'm pretty sure there have been cases where
that goes that way a lot because you got somebody else that can call the plays.
Yeah.
Do you know who that would fall on?
I have no idea. Who else is on that staff?
That's kind of the problem. Is there is nobody on that staff.
Nobody?
Nobody on that staff has ever called a defensive play before.
Oh, that's what. Okay. I was like,
you got a couple offensive guys. Anthony Lynn's the associate head coach. So if this was an offensive problem, okay. But the vast majority of the coaches you have on defense have been in the league for like 4 years. I mean, Daniel Bullocks has been around for a long time. But if you were going to do that, why did you not do it in the first place? You didn't trust any of them going into the season, and now you're going to take that from Steve Wilkes and do what?
I don't know. Hell, maybe John Lynch can call the defensive plays. I don't know.
Yeah, that's another absolute
this has been
insane.
Bad. But it's not been good for the last 2 weeks, right? After every game, they have had the discussion afterwards of, yeah, we're going to talk about that. Yeah, we're going to have a meeting with Steve. Yeah, clearly Steve is a problem. Now, they just went out and got Chase Young and added that to the defensive front, so maybe that could help out that secondary as well. I don't know what the solution is in San Francisco, but yeah, they're looking for whatever option they could find.
Well, and if they had one, I would give some credence to that, but they don't.
Mm-hmm.
See, that was – and if you remember, when we talked about this in the offseason, I screamed this from the rooftops of you're going to regret that you just did that because you've had a system that worked. And now it's great that you keep getting third-round picks for defensive coordinators. You've gone through all of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you had to hire outside. The entire defensive staff stayed intact.
Mm-hmm.
Except the coordinator. That tells you everything you need to know. You didn't trust any of them to call the plays.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only reason you do it.
Okay.
And you're certainly not going to pull it away from a guy that's been a head coach in the NFL twice in 8 games. Good luck hiring your next one.
Oh, your next coordinator?
He's going to get this season because you have no alternative.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that that's fixable. Because he has made the most talented defensive line in the NFL look really ordinary for 3 solid weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then you push that over to Brock Purdy, and you got a bunch of dudes that never stay healthy. Yeah, I'm good.
Yep.
You can have that one.
Yep. Okay. I'll gladly take it. And then I'm going to take one that I think has a pretty good shot at making the playoffs here, especially now that they've made a change at quarterback. I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons. They have the easiest schedule left.
Yes.
They are number 32 in remaining strength of schedule. Here are the easy matchups that they have for the rest of the season. They have the Cardinals. They have the Panthers.
Did you skip the Vikings?
Wait a minute. These are the easy matchups.
The Vikings are starting Jaron Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Jaron Hall.
I get it. Cardinals, Panthers, Vikings, Bears, Colts, Bucks. Those are the quote-unquote easy games.
I would not have put the Colts in that, but.
And then you got the Saints twice and the Jets. That's it. That's all you got left on your schedule.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of winnable games there. I'm 4-4 right now, and I just made a quarterback change that I think is going to lift all tides when it comes to my tight end, my wide receiver, and, of course, my 2 running backs.
And that is a great thing to look at. Man, look at the corners that you're matching up against over the course of the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
If Taylor Heineke is even a mediocre quarterback, Atlanta should go, 11-6?
Mm-hmm.
Say you split with New Orleans and you lose at the Jets. Every other game is winnable. Every game you should be able to score points.
Mm-hmm.
There are some pretty good run defenses in that slot, but there's a lot of terrible secondaries.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta is an interesting one. And for me, it's just that good Lord god-awful division. Because I don't believe in the Bucs at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you do either.
No, I don't.
And I don't know what to do with New Orleans. New Orleans and Atlanta were at the bottom of my list, just circled, going, I feel like I should take one of you, but I don't know which one.
Now, at this point, I think I believe more in Atlanta than I do in New Orleans just because it looks so clunky down there in New Orleans.
I believe in the roster of New Orleans more. I believe in the coaching staff of Atlanta more. And that's not saying a lot.
Yep. All right, we'll take a quick break. Let Jeremy think about his next 2 selections here on teams that could make a run in the second half of the NFL season. Who's a legit threat for a playoff run, maybe even a Super Bowl run? You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
When you think of Wendy's Biggie Bag, think your go-to meal deal. Because with your choice of JBC or crispy chicken sandwich, plus 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink, Biggie hits every time. So grab a Wendy's Biggie Bag today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
It is Ryan here reminding you to check out the insane, amazing wireless offer out right now from Boost Infinite. Just pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned in one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly, so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
Back in the Ingalls studio, ESPN Asheville. We're in the middle of the daily draft, and today's daily draft, what teams could make a run in the second half of the season? Is there either a deep playoff run, maybe even vie for a Super Bowl so far? We've got Cincinnati and Dallas selected by Jeremy. I've taken Buffalo, San Francisco, and the Atlanta Falcons.
Our caveat here was we're taking out the 6 and 7 win teams.
Yes. So no Philadelphia Eagles, Detroit Lions, Baltimore Ravens, Jacksonville Jaguars,
Miami Dolphins, Kansas City Chiefs.
There you go.
My next selection is really easy, and I can't believe you didn't take them.
Mm-hmm.
The Seattle Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best team in the NFC West. At this point, I would take them at whatever odds you want to give me that they're going to win this division, and here's why.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco's schedule is evil. Seattle has an evil stretch where they have to play the 49ers twice, at the Cowboys, and the Eagles. The Eagles game is in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side of that, outside of the Ravens, who they play this week, which is, to me, probably the most interesting game of this weekend. Kansas City, Miami, you're both contenders. I don't necessarily know that I'm going to glean a lot from that. And as was said earlier, it could be played in a hurricane.
Right.
Seattle and the Ravens are two teams that I really want to believe in, and I'm right on the edge of going, you know what? You're coached well. It's been consistent. I just want to keep seeing it for two completely different reasons. Geno Smith will always scare me. Sorry, I'm a West Virginia fella and I'm a New York Jet. So Geno Smith is one of those names that I go, I've seen so much bad that I have a really hard time believing the good. Now, I've seen it for 2 years. You just added Leonard Williams. You've got all the weapons you could ever want. I think you're running the ball pretty well. I would like to see your line get healthy, and really be able to develop over time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have a lot of questions about this team. I want to see Tariq Woolen last year. That's probably the biggest drawback I have.
Yeah.
And now you have Devin Witherspoon, who you didn't have last year.
Mm-hmm.
I said Bengals Seahawks was my Super Bowl prediction coming into this year. And for about a month, I went, that's aging like a dairy product. And the more I've looked at it this week, the more I'm going, yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Now you're starting to feel the Seattle surge coming?
I'm good. I'm going to hang back and just stick with what I got.
Okay. All right. Most of the contenders are going to have to deal with a really tough schedule.
There are very few that you look at and go, that's nice.
Look, I've pulled up here the remaining strength of schedule. Of the top 8 toughest schedules left in football, 7 of them are Super Bowl or playoff contenders. Baltimore's 1, Cincinnati, Buffalo, Dallas, Miami, San Francisco, Seattle. That's the top 7 of the hardest schedules left. So the teams that are actually going to be competing for a championship, right, they're going to be put through the ringer for the rest of this season.
Oh, it's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Because there is one team that's pretty good, at least on one side of the ball, that is right in the old meaty clackers of that list. And it's my New York Jets. That defense is really, really good.
Yes, they are.
And if you look at who they play, you got 2 with Miami, you got 1 with Buffalo. The next 2 toughest games you play are the Browns and the Falcons. Hey, you do realize neither one of those teams score well, right? Am I the only one that gets that? Okay. Because the other 5 are the Texans, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Commanders, and the Patriots. It's not exactly a murderer's row.
No.
And if you look at legit AFC contenders that are going to be contending for the wild card, not teams that win the division, the only teams in the AFC that have easier paths than them are Indianapolis, who I don't totally buy into at this point, Pittsburgh, who I don't buy into at all, Houston, who I don't buy into at all, and Cleveland.
But the common thought has been you got to get to 10, right? You got to get to 10 wins to make the playoffs in the AFC.
I think so, yes.
I can get you to 9 pretty easy.
I can get to 11 pretty easy.
You think there's no contest there with
Atlanta?
No. Cleveland?
It's not that it's no contest. I don't know how you're supposed to score on them. You don't have any weapons that separate outside of Amari Cooper, and you can never get him the ball. I mean, that game could end up 5-3.
It could.
So you said you could get to 10. I can easily get to 11.
Okay. You can easily
I can also easily get to 7. So when you get to this point.
You get bad quarterback play. You're at risk of losing every game that you're in.
Should have lost to the New York Giants. So
that's why they weren't. That's why I hadn't taken them yet. Because as much as I feel like you have a chance to win every game, I feel like you got a chance to lose every game.
Well, the biggest problem for the Jets, they were one of my big losers of the trade deadline. I can't believe you didn't add somebody to that offensive line.
Yeah. And apparently they called on Ezra Cleveland. At least according to one of the reports I was reading. They called, and they ended up taking the Jacksonville deal
So
instead.
You wanted a 6th-round pick from the Jaguars instead of from the Jets. I'm going to need you to explain that to me.
Unless y'all were just offering a 7. I don't know.
And I guess that's possible.
I don't know why you wouldn't offer more, because you need one bad. You need a lineman bad.
There's no more killed unit in the NFL than the New York Jets offensive line.
No doubt. No doubt. But I guess you didn't want to mortgage the future of that 5th rounder that's going to be a banger one day.
Well, the other problem at guard is, what do we do next year? You got 2 guys, one that's getting ready to get paid quite handsomely and one that already is. Then you'd be in the same boat as Minnesota.
Well, I don't worry about that now.
I don't disagree with you.
If I got a chance to win now, I'm adding the guy, and then I'll just worry about it later. Much like I feel like San Francisco did with the Chase Young deal. Just bring the talent in and let me figure it out later. All right, New York Jets, your selection. I've got 2 more left.
That's convenient because you have 2 picks left.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you meant you had 2 more teams left.
No, I have 2 more picks left. And I don't feel great. I don't feel great, really, about many teams left here. Because I want to take Cleveland, but I don't know if I can trust anything with that. I don't know what's going on with Deshaun Watson. I don't even know if Deshaun Watson knows what's going on with Deshaun Watson. But I guess I have to add them to the list, right?
They have 5 games that I could easily see them losing. They have 5 games that I can't figure out a way that you lose.
And that gets you to 9.
I can't figure out with that defense how you're going to lose to the Cardinals, how you're going to lose to the Bears, Rams, Broncos, or Texans.
Mm-hmm. And then that gets you to 9, and I only need to win 1 or 2 more to even get you into the playoffs.
The thing with Cleveland is that you got to be able to make the layups. You beat those 5, you're going to be very competitive because there's still a game with Pittsburgh in there. It's still a game with the Jets in there.
Mm-hmm.
You split those 2, you're at 10. Cleveland was the next team on my list. And the only reason I didn't take them is because you left me Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Final selection, team that could make a run. I'm going to throw in the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, they keep playing decent ball. You get good games from Gardner Minshew. They could do enough to make the playoffs. They're another one of those. Easy schedule down the rest of the
Second
stretch.
easiest schedule in the league, and I'm not even sure that I care.
I mean,
because I could easily see Indianapolis losing to Houston, Tampa Bay, and Tennessee, and those are considered winnable games.
You could. But, when you look at teams that have an even record right now or a losing record, they only have 2 teams on their schedule left that have a winning record.
I have a feeling that Colts pick's going to look pretty bad this week when they go into Carolina to lose.
Really?
100%. Did it last week. Ride the lightning.
Ugh. Good luck
100%
to you.
Ride the lightning.
Good luck to you.
You left me the team that was right behind Cleveland, the New Orleans Saints. Yeah, the Lions are going to smoke you like a honey ham.
Yep.
I don't even think it's debatable. One of your good games is the Vikings, who have Jaron Hall.
Mm-hmm.
You play the Falcons twice, who I don't know exactly what it is, and if you lose any of the other 5, I will be dumbfounded. Now, Dennis Allen will find a way, but he'll find a way to win one of those first 4 I just said.
Mm-hmm.
And that puts you – that'd be 5 up, 4 down, 9-8. That's probably winning that division.
It's going to be tight with them in Atlanta.
And I'm here again. Can we stop giving automatic bids to division winners?
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We got the most important message of the day coming up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Looking good. Not feeling great, but it's going to start feeling better here pretty quickly over the next few days as high pressure retreats east, a little bit more southerly flow. That's the physics of it. And now the details. Sunshine, mid-50s today. Tonight, clear upper 20s. Normally colder areas will be a little chillier. Sunny tomorrow, low 60s. Over the weekend, mostly sunny both days. Highs in the upper 60s. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. When you think of Wendy's Biggie Bag, think your go-to meal deal. Because with your choice of JBC or crispy chicken sandwich, plus 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink, Biggie hits every time. So grab a Wendy's Biggie Bag today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on to WWNC.com and go to contest, and you can sign in to make your picks. Each weekly winner wins a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing. Make your picks now.
Get in the spirit with 50% off everything for a limited time during the holiday preview event, now through November 13th at Banana Republic Factory. From merino wool sweaters to luxe outerwear, explore our favorite styles to give and to get.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets. It is the Sportsocracy, and it's time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy.
Don't do crimes!
Yep. Crimes occur every day. And, you know, sometimes, well, most of the time, crime does not pay. My good friend Mark Starling told a story this morning on 570 WWNC on the morning show about a North Dakota man.
I'm always nervous when you say these stories come from Mark Starling because he gets his from, I don't know what depraved news server he finds his stories on. I tell a lot of them.
Yes, you do. North Dakota man who was poisoned by his girlfriend.
Oh, I've heard. This is a terrible story.
After he found out he was getting a $30 million inheritance. But wait, there's more. In a turn of events, after this woman poisoned him with antifreeze, and he passed away. They had had a discussion. Apparently, he had found out that he was getting this $30 million inheritance. And apparently there were discussions of, you're going to give me some of that, right? And he said, oh, good Lord, no. He did the whole Jeremy thing.
She had also said many not nice things about him on social media.
Yes. Yes, she had. And so anyway, Ina Kenoyer allegedly poisoned him. I guess we have to use the term allegedly here. But we're pretty sure that she did it.
I don't know that you do have to use it. We're not judges, so we don't really have to do anything.
That is very true. Anyway, she has been accused of poisoning him with the antifreeze. The turn of the story comes when the 21-year-old son of the victim, Ryan Riley, has weighed in now and said that it was actually just a scam. Someone had sent his dad an email and said, hey, if you want to meet me at the local airport, I'll give you a check or you can sign for the $30 million that you've just inherited from a, quote, distant relative.
How are people still falling for this? 1997 called. They want their scam back.
Yes. So he organized a meetup with this guy at the Minot Airport to sign off on the cash. And according to the Sun, the person never showed. Well, I guess that he didn't tell the girl, or she had been poisoning him all along and just went through with it and finished him off. Yeah, so there never was any $30 million.
Why do we not?
She killed him for money that didn't exist.
Why do we not prosecute the spammer here?
If you could track him down, probably. I mean,
shouldn't be all that hard.
I don't know. I don't know how easy that stuff is to figure out.
Well, you're running a scam. First of all, I've seen pictures of this family. It doesn't exactly look like if you're scamming them that you are going to get much out of it. That's just me being,
It's fair.
I'm being judgmental, but it's so obviously you're not dealing with a super scammer here because you got no financial information from what I can tell, and you're using like the oldest trick in the book. People like this should be prosecuted. I promise you it will stop.
Yep. Oh, no doubt about it.
But no, this is just like many other people on the internet. There's absolutely no repercussions for your actions. The internet is an ugly place.
Yes.
And I don't like it.
Yes, it is.
Another ugly place, Miami, Florida. It's not a people ugly place. Very attractive city. Been there recently. But a student of the U, his name is Kyle Mortimer. He found out that you should be really careful what you dress up as for Halloween.
Okay.
Because he went out over the weekend as a banana. Don't know how you got the banana costume, but you do you. He apparently had to go piddle. And all of the porta potties in the particular area that he was in were filled. So he did what any dumb 20-year-old would do. He decided to urinate on the sidewalk. Don't poop outside, okay? Why is this so hard for people? If it's defecation, don't do it outside on the sidewalk.
So he was going number 2 or number 1?
No, he was taking a piddle.
Okay, all right.
He was taking a piddle, at which time he heard an officer shout for him, say, "Hey, don't poop outside. Don't poop outside." And he did what any, again, stupid 20-year-old would do. He ran. 2 cops decided to try to zigzag to stop them or to get away from them. It specifically says that in the AP story.
It's never going to work.
Well, it didn't work. He was grabbed by the peel and thrown to the ground.
Oh.
He then interlocked his fingers to keep them from putting the handcuffs on him, of which I'm demonstrating this right now. That won't prevent them from handcuffing you, stupid. He was arrested, and at any point he could have taken off the goofy banana costume he was in, but he chose to not do that. So his mugshot is of his goofy face wearing a banana. Now, one of the questions that this led me to was, how exactly do you pee outside wearing a banana costume? This is one of those zip-up like one-piece things. How exactly did you do that? The other question I had is, at what point in the arrest did he no longer have his banana in his hand? Because I feel like it's an element of the story that was left out, and I'm not seeing a good point where.
So is this like one of those inflatable costumes?
Yes.
Okay.
And it looks like he was probably not wearing anything underneath it, which is a terrible call.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't wear Halloween costumes.
I mean, you walk by one storefront that's well lit too wrong, and that's going to give everybody a show. Like,
don't move on. It's the perfect time for me to. Damn, the devil too.
Right. Oh shoot.
Oh shoot. If you know what that's from, you know why that was funny right there.
Yep. You seen it. And I didn't need you to see it. Speaking of, I ran across this story. I thought it was quite funny. It's quite a Jeremy story. 25.
I don't ever like when you say that because it makes me sound like a real
this is a story
jerk.
that you would tell.
Oh, okay.
This is not a story that you would.
When you say it's a Jeremy story, it always leads to me sounding like a jerk.
No. 25-year-old man arrested inside an Iowa Target for indecent exposure. I would never expect you to do anything like that, Jeremy. This is definitely a you story, though, because he's come up with...
When I exposure myself, it's always decent.
He's come up with a, I don't know, a... Good for you. He's come up with quite the, I guess, the original defense here. So he was caught indecent exposure. They said that he was pleasuring himself.
Don't do that.
Out in the middle of the aisles where people could see in this Target store. His defense is now, no, I was not doing that.
Oh, I know what this is.
It was not mine. Does it matter if you were simulating with an object? Because he claims that this was an aid, right? This was a marital aid that he was using to simulate the act in front of people in a store. First, why would you do that?
Because you're an idiot. It's the answer.
Second, why would you expect me to believe that?
Anytime we ask the question, why did you do that in this segment, the answer is always and will forthwith always be, because you're an idiot.
Yes. Contradicting the footage, Brown told officers that the object was in his shorts. It was not his member, but it was, in fact, a marital aid. The affidavit counters his defense, suggesting, quote, video evidence indicates that the phallic object in his hand was indeed connected to his person. So, I guess now you can say they've heard every excuse in the book.
Stupid criminals.
Yeah. They're always going to give us something to talk about.
I think we should add a segment to the show called "What Are You Stupid?"
What are you stupid?
What are you stupid?
Again, it's not that they. It's not that. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I was going to make a point, and then it just went out of my head. It's one of those moments, just like a bird. It just flew right away. Nice. Love it when that happens. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. What are you and Stephen Tao arguing about who's hurt more?
No, it's
your
the
Ravens
Jets.
or the Jets?
No, it's the Jets. I think he saw it my way.
Oh, okay.
He still has an original running back. We're on all new pieces.
On your offensive line?
Yeah. A couple of whom I've never heard of before. The center that got that everybody went full conspiracy theory because he spotted the ball. I have never heard that kid's name before in my life.
Oh,
Xavier Newman, I think was his name.
Mm-hmm.
I went, woof, it's 14th year in a row. The New York Jets offensive line is DED.
Yep. It's got to be, I mean, you got to dig deep to find somebody that Jeremy's never heard of.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, it's about mid-season mock draft time.
Is it?
It is. I think next week's a formidable time to do it.
Okay.
I've been teasing it, and it's just the standings have been so wishy-washy that it was – but now I think we're getting to a point – I think after this week we'll be to a point that's at least pseudo-representative of what the top of the draft's going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of names I'm excited to share with the people. UCLA has another guy that's medically retired and real good.
Medically retired?
Mm-hmm.
But he's going in the draft?
Mm-hmm. And we'll go in the top 20. Leatu Latu. Second time UCLA's had a guy medically retired in the last 5 years that wound up a first-round pick. Jalen Phillips was the first.
Yeah, but he came back and played.
Well, obviously he came back to play. He's not a ghost, and he's not bionic.
No, I mean, didn't he come back and he played
at Miami?
At Miami.
This kid came back and played.
Medically retired, right?
This kid came back to UCLA after he medically retired.
Oh, okay. So he is playing now. He's not in the retired phase.
Yeah. I felt like that was assumed.
It was not assumed. You said he medically retired, and I went, wait, this kid's sitting on the couch. How's he going to be in the top 20?
He's one of the best edge rushers in the class. If it wasn't for the med, he would probably go in the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
But the med is that's going to be a difficult one.
Now maybe the Miami Dolphins will get back on board with that.
I
feel like
know.
that's just a hell of a risk.
He's a really tough evaluation because the tape's really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I keep coming back to the medical of you were literally told to never play the sport again.
Mm-hmm.
And sat out a full year. And then you came back and have just been an absolute animal at UCLA.
Okay. All right.
You can't watch UCLA football without going, good Lord, that kid is unbelievably good.
All right. Who else sends you right now? Who else is getting you excited?
Of the quarterbacks.
Well, obviously.
None of the quarterbacks do anything for me at this point. You remember when we talked about this could be the best quarterback class ever? Yeah, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Really?
No.
Everybody's just falling off a cliff.
It's not so much they've fallen off a cliff. I think they're both overvalued. And then you get into that weird Hendon Hooker tier of, well, he's good, but is he a starter in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I have 7 of those that will go somewhere in round 2, 3, or 4. This will be the hardest year of evaluating quarterbacks I've ever had. But I can tell you, as of right now, Drake May's not in my top 10, and Caleb Williams barely is.
Of overall prospects?
Overall prospects, yes.
Okay. I was going to say, they're still 1 and 2 as quarterbacks.
Yeah, because they don't have a whole lot of competition for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there's Michael Penix.
I don't see him as an NFL quarterback. Now, I've said that with a couple guys over the years. Jalen Hurts, that didn't so much work out. I've had a few others Pat White, I was pretty accurate on that one. But I don't know exactly what to do with him. He's got a really elongated throwing motion that rarely works out.
Right.
And when I say elongated, I mean he makes Jalen Hurts look like Quick Draw McGraw.
That is a problem. He
winds up like he's throwing a baseball.
Yeah, because you got what? 2.4 seconds?
2.5 is it's pretty much the Mendoza line of that.
Okay.
Bo Nix, I don't believe in at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Shedeur comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in Shedeur even if he did. He needs to go back for a year. If you need anything else, great
This
year.
is the draft.
2 franchise left tackles, 3 franchise wide receivers. Corner's a little dicey and linebacker's not good, but there's a handful of edge rushers. It's just really top-heavy at certain positions.
Okay. All right. So look forward to mock draft coming next week. We'll do the mid-season Sportsocracy mock draft.
Probably on Wednesday if I had a wager.
All right. All right. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Take our last break. We'll be back to wrap it up here on a Threadbare Thursday.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from. White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
Welcome your guests into a healthy home this Thanksgiving by calling the Cleaning Pros at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get $30 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR30 when scheduling online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Cut. Let's try something fresh like the new scratch-offs.
I got it. Tuesday. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday.
Cut.
It's not Monday,
Aren't you a little old to be in a boy band?
There's nothing old about getting new tickets.
Oh, you're right. Maybe we stick with the original track.
New tickets every first Tuesday of the month from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Problem gambling helpline, 877-718-5543.
This is a weekly test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
The iHeartRadio app and the NFL right in your pocket. The home of the NFL Podcast Network, covering all 32 NFL teams, plus all the expert advice to win your fantasy league. And, of course, live NFL games.
Touchdown!
Download the free iHeartRadio app today. Free never sounded so good.
Here's another remarkable success story from QC Kinetics. This one from Chad, who hurt his knee at the gym one day, and it just kept on hurting for months.
From my high school football and wrestling days, I already had a little bit of damage in there, but this just sent it over the edge.
Chad tried traditional treatments with no improvement when he turned to the non-surgical regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics.
It was really fascinating how they did their work, and the science behind it was very intriguing, and it works. Extracting the cure out of my own body blew my mind. It's like I'm brand new again. It was fantastic.
That's because the QC Kinetics natural biologic treatments use your body's own healing power to restore damaged tissue in your hips, shoulders, back, and knees, providing long-lasting relief.
Now I'm back at the gym. I'm 100% feeling great.
If you're tired of suffering with pain from arthritis or injury, call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
The last thing you need on the way to the game is a flat tire. Ensure that you'll make the game on time with new tires from Black Mountain Tire Connection. With 22 years of experience serving the East Asheville area, Black Mountain Tire Connection offers all major tire brands. Black Mountain Tire Connection keeps you running with tire and auto service, including alignments, brakes, state inspections, oil changes, and minor repairs. Schedule service now at blackmountaintire.com.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
It is ESPN Asheville, final segment of a Threadbare Thursday. And yesterday, the Las Vegas Raiders had their introductory press conference for their new interim head coach, Antonio Pierce. And Antonio Pierce, I guess he's just trying to rally the troops here. I thought it was hilarious that Mark Davis actually told the media that, he's not here to coach. This is essentially what he said. He said this guy's a leader. I really like him because he's a leader for this team. And he's not here to coach. He could do that, but we've got other guys that he can delegate to do that. I just really want him to be the leader. That sounds like it's exactly what I said yesterday. Mark Davis never seems to have a plan. And any plan that he does have always has a major hole in it. And this screams Jeff Saturday to me all over again.
That was exactly the name I was getting ready to say.
Mm-hmm.
Was exactly the name I was getting ready to say.
He's the leader of men. Well, let's see. I'm sure Raider fans got a good kick out of hearing Antonio Pierce talk about growing up in Compton and, listening to NWA and wearing the Raider hats and all of that. And he said he was born into this. He was born this way. He was born to be a Raider. That's a great little motivator.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Is that really going to change the fortunes of the franchise? Because, that Jeff Saturday thing worked out for a minute, and then it really didn't.
You won a game.
The first one, if I remember correctly.
Yep. And guess who they get to play this week? The New York Giants. So you could get that coach bump. You could win this game.
And you probably will. I will probably take the Raiders this week.
And then you get to
especially if the Giants play Tommy DeVito.
And then you get to go get demolished by the Jets defense the next week. That'd probably be a close game because your offenses are kind of on par. But then you got the Dolphins. That's not going to go well. And then the Chiefs after that. That's not going to go well either.
But, if you're the Raiders, you want to lose.
Of course you do.
You want to lose.
Mm-hmm.
This is – you're coming out of something here that's going to be another relaunch for this franchise. It's not going to be productive no matter what you do.
And it feels like the sixth one in 7 years.
That's the thing I can't get away from with the Raiders is it seems like every time one of these goes badly, you have to reset the entire decks. It's never, the coach didn't work out, but we've got the GM in place. It's always, we're going to wipe everything out and start all over again.
Mm-hmm.
That was why I was screaming for Rich Bisaccia yesterday. Raider fans really seem to want Jim Harbaugh. I don't think you're going to be his first choice, but I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that he would want to do that. I would rather be set up with a team that has a bunch of talent that I can work with.
The rumor I've heard about Jim Harbaugh is he wants to go to a team that's already got a quarterback. He doesn't want to develop one. So that would not lend itself to the Raiders to me.
Yeah,
would also explain why he was so adamantly in on Minnesota. They already had Kirk Cousins. They already had Justin Jefferson. I just got to put the pieces together.
Yep.
So, I mean, if that's what he's looking for, the Raiders are not bad.
No, the Chargers are.
Exactly. And if they want him, everything I've been told is that he definitely wants them.
Depending on how high the Raiders could draft next year, though, they could have a quarterback. Although he's not interested in developing one, so I guess he wouldn't
both
want to
of
do
them
that.
require some developing.
Yeah.
Whether it's Caleb or Drake May, it's going to take some development.
Yep. Raiders on the path once again to just continuing to be a dumpster fire, and I'm all here for it.
David Evans Olson asked us with Thursday Night Football tonight, as a Steelers fan, what can they actually do to get better in the future? I have no faith that Art Rooney will do anything. That's the problem with being in purgatory, which is where the Steelers have been forever. You can make these fun little, hey, we got in as the 7th. I feel like the Steelers have been alive to make the playoffs the last week of the season like 9 years in a row.
Yes.
I know they had the one good year that wasn't the case, but you can't do that every single year. It puts you in the middle of the draft. And even if you draft reasonably well, you're just constantly on this churn of losing players, and you got a young guy that replaces him, but you always stay in the exact same spot. At some point, you almost have to crater out. Every team that's good right now cratered out at some point.
Yeah.
Some of them were much more recently than others, but it's pretty consistent.
And I don't know that they can't bring themselves to do that.
No.
Because we're the Steelers. We're not supposed to have losing records, right? We're not supposed to do that.
And that's the question. Is it better to be competitive for the last playoff berth every year and never have that terrible year, but know that you're probably not a contender for the Super Bowl?
Yep. We have arrived at that moment. It's time for us to call it a day. That means we'll see you tomorrow right here on ESPN Asheville at noon for
a Football Friday.
Take care. Enjoy the football tonight. We'll have your full recap tomorrow again at noon on 92.9.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Looking good. Not feeling great, but it's going to start feeling better here pretty quickly over the next few days as high pressure retreats east, a little bit more southerly flow. That's the physics of it. And now the details. Sunshine, mid-50s today. Tonight, clear upper 20s. Normally colder areas will be a little chillier. Sunny tomorrow, low 60s. Over the weekend, mostly sunny. Both days, highs in the upper 60s. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Staging.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently, there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy. But more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.